And good evening. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and it looks as though we may be spending a little bit of time together tonight. We've got a first round that is occurring now, and all indications are that this could stretch well into the evening hours, 10, 11, maybe even after midnight of severe thunderstorms in the area, and then moving into Lauderdale County there sometime after 10, 10:30. That's what we're going to watch. We'll do a quick update now. Let you know where we are and what's all going on with the weather. We've got several thunderstorm warnings already issued. As we look at this, let me make sure that we got everything going on. Philadelphia, let's start there. Is what we're looking at here. Let me pull up radar. This is where we begin tonight. And if you're at the Neshoba County Fair, be prepared, you're going to get wet. This is coming. We'll watch this as the evening, as we look at this. Let me back out on this and just show you. Then we'll start breaking all of this down. All of this on this side, in the end, will be probably a little worse than this cell that we've got here. This is what will eventually come into Kemper and down through here in these areas. But let's work with what we've got now. And again, if you're at the Neshoba County Fair, you will most likely get wet here in the next little bit as we put this into motion and take a look at what's going on with the weather there, as it will come down as it makes its way out of Winston County here in the next little bit. All right, let's zoom in and take a look and see what we've got right now. No rain at the fair right now. All right, let's turn on locations and begin this and get everybody kind of up to date on what we've got. Now, our first cell that we've got up here that we're watching out of Winston County and Attala County, that's right here, these two areas here. This storm is going to expire at 8:15. There's 15 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning there. We have a second, and if you'll notice this, I'm not sure depending on how you're watching it, if you're watching it on an iPad or your phone tonight, we've got a second storm that's going to just encompass here right outside the Coliseum, come down and take all of the city limits of Philadelphia, and then take it in the fair and just south of 15. Right there at Linwood Baptist Church is where this is going to be the line. This storm, this thunderstorm, it will last until 8:45. We'll wait to see what the National Weather Service does on this, if they will extend it. But we've got a lot of heavy rain as we look at this. Now, Winston County and Attala County right now, you are getting a ton of lightning strikes. And we got that message early this morning from the National Weather Service. With this would be a lot of lightning, and we're seeing that right now. As we glance here, 7:49, that was about 10 minutes ago, these yellow, they're actually hitting the ground wherever you see this. Now, just up here by Burnside Park, if you'll notice here, we had a lightning strike 2 minutes ago that struck the ground. Right here is going to be sitting at Arlington Baptist Church. This is going to be due east of Arlington, lightning strikes. Up Highway 15 here, just north of there. Look at this, striking right on the road. So if you're in this area watching me from Neshoba County, be careful. This lightning is very, very dangerous, and we don't want you to get hurt. Now, as we look at this triangle, and if you'll see this, this is that severe thunderstorm warning that comes out and will last until 8:15. It goes all the way over here to House. The second one that goes until 8:45 picks up here right above Northside Park, goes down, and then back across. That's what we're looking at there. And it is a lot of lightning and storms involved with this. Now, right here, Kemper County, y'all be ready. Y'all got some showers that are getting ready to come in from the Knoxville County side. Right here, we're sitting here at Nanawaya Pit Stop. Look at this. Wind moving west at 9 miles an hour. We have a severe thunderstorm warning there, and it's going to last until 8:45. Now, the watch lasts until 11 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if all of that doesn't get extended at some point. We're watching it. We got heavy rain right here at the Nanawaya Mounds, here at the Indian Mounds. If you're in that area there, you're going to get wet also. Heavy rain now at Arlington as it makes its way into Neshoba County. As we look back over here, this is all east of Kosciuszko now. If you're watching from Attala County, be prepared. Now, if you're watching me from Lauderdale County, don't worry. You're going to get your fair share of this. Let's ease right across. This is the thunderstorm warnings that we have. Geiger, Alabama, Gainesville. I urge y'all to be weather alert. Now, these are serious storms that are going on, as well as at Livingston, Alabama. And look what we've got right down here. We'll look at this into Lauderdale County. Some serious stuff there. Starting to ease in by McElroy Trucking. Let's start up here at Geiger, Alabama. We got a lot of folks that watch in these areas, and we want you to be as well safe as well as everybody else. We start here, and we're showing here on Highway 45, just south of Macon, that would be in between Sugarlock and Macon before you get to the Oak Tree Inn. Some showers there. But just east of you here in the edge of Alabama, this is an atrocious storm. This is going to last until 8:15, this thunderstorm warning here. And it is pouring, as the old saying goes, cats and dogs right now. This storm is approaching Warsaw. We'll be there within 4 minutes. And so if you live in the Warsaw community, north of Outages, these areas there, right around Gainesville, what a beautiful town it is there. You've got a lot of rain, a lot of storms upon you. This is some of the worst rain that you're going to see happening right now. And just as it updated there, we had 2 more lines of storms that are going to roll right across the river bridge right there at Gainesville. So if you're in that area and then you live over here near Outages, this is going to cross I-20. Look at this as it makes its way. Geiger, Alabama, you're starting to see some light showers. We're already seeing showers in Bennsville now, the United Methodist Church there, down White Horse Road. All of this area back in here, right at the Knoxville County line at Kemper. Heavy rain. But, boy, these storms here, y'all be prepared. We're showing Mount Hebron. You're going to get this storm at 8:53, and that third storm will follow in front 17 minutes from now. New Hebron will get that storm. Let's make our way right on down. As we see this thunderstorm warning comes down, and it gets right here at Livingston and cuts across. But don't worry, Livingston, you've got your own severe thunderstorm warning all to yourself as we look at this. And we pull this up and look now. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock for Sumter County as we look at this at Livingston, Alabama, right there at the university. If you'll see here, Highway 28, all this area, 11. Pouring rain just to the east. Here's the University of Livingston, Alabama. If you come down to that red light and take that left-hand turn on 28, I want you to look how bad, how increasingly worse the weather gets. And this is going to pick up right there, if I'm reading that right, Park Drive, if you know where that road is, East Park Road. Also over here at Parkway Drive, right off of 28, is where the rain picks up. This is going to go east of you and travel right on across over here to Bluffport Road. Those areas there, it couldn't get much worse. It's got so much rain going on. Bill says the Nanawaya area wanted to know about tornado without a tornado warning. Now, and let's address what we're seeing. These areas right here, it's a lot of wind. There is not predicted any tornado activity tonight. We are expecting heavy winds with all of this. Now, as we've all learned like 2 weeks ago, as we sat here and watched these storms, we had several that had very damaging winds. It can tear up a roof. It can tear up siding. It can make things bad. So we watch that over the next, 4 hours. It's going to be rough. And Caseland, yes, there's going to be some severe weather roll through Meridian a little bit later on. We are going to get that. All right, as we look at this, we come down. Let's move across here, Livingston, all these areas around Demopolis. Y'all be prepared. You got rain coming your way as well. We get here, York, Alabama. This is going to be moving due south there, down 17 there as we see this. If you live in Scratch Hill, Salome, Standard, Ward, Alabama, this storm Ward, you're going to get it in half an hour. It'll be right there at you. Now, we're starting to see this storm as we get right here at Lauderdale County. If you'll look here, just into here, here's McElroy Trucking right there in Cuba, Alabama. I think we've all passed by there once or twice, haven't we? We come back in, follow 11 into Meridian, all the way up here to Simmons right there at the store. Pouring rain. We're starting to see some lightning in these corners. Now, let's set this in motion for the next 60 minutes, and we watch this rain as it comes on into, we track it there, it comes into Lauderdale County. Now, I've been watching this storm, and let's see here. Let me put that back on now. I'm back out here. Let me flip over and take a look at something here while we're all here, making sure I hadn't missed anything from the National Weather Service here. Humphreys County, all the same. Wind damage is prominent and on the increase is what they're telling us with these storms from the National Weather Service. And it's what it's saying that most likely the wind potential is going to be its worst in about 1 hour from now. From 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. is what we're looking at on this, so the wind picking up. So I want y'all, this is going to come and go. You will probably see me several times tonight as we come back on track this weather for you. I want you to be prepared, though. If you've got some, it's still not quite real bad in the Meridian area. We're watching this. You got time to get your furniture up, anything like that that's laying out in the yard, because this could potentially be some heavy wind that we're going to get here. I wanted to look at one more thing before I pull back up the radar map as I look at this. As I come across Demopolis getting heavy rain at 9 o'clock, and we start seeing this move in to Lauderdale County heavier at 10 p.m. and as well as eastern Kemper County. I'm looking at a different map here. York, Kemper County by 10:20 will have a lot. And as we come down and look at this, by 10:38, 20 minutes to 11, it's going to be pouring heavy rain in Lauderdale County. This continues to get worse through 11 o'clock. We get this heavy through 11:20. At 11:40, it is all stretching all the way from Meridian, Philadelphia, Newton, Forest. All of these areas are going to be covered in rain, and heavy, heavy rain. And this is at 11. As we approach midnight, still pouring from Philadelphia, Meridian, Newton. You're going to take a pounding as well. So we've got this well into the nighttime hours. It's around 1 o'clock that I'm seeing before this really, really starts breaking up. And showing a difference on a different forecast map that I was looking at. Now, let's go back in here. Now, so keep that in mind. The wind will pick up. And let's pull this up where you can see radar here before you think I've forgotten everybody. I don't want you to think that. We've got rain now, but it will continuously get worse as this evening moves on. Let's turn this off so you get a better view of just what's going on all the way around us. We got warnings in Neshoba County. We've got warnings in Leake, Attala, and Winston County. This is going to expire in 5 minutes right there, this first one. And then it's going to make its way. But as this night goes on, it will become worse. Now, again, as I kept touching base with what the National Weather Service, and let me check and see if the National Weather Service has updated anything on their prediction. And I'll just pull this up. Storms, they're still listing this. What they're telling us, severe storms, damaging wind gusts between 60 to 70 miles an hour. And with this coming is going to be a lot of lightning. And we're seeing this. It's getting worse. I want you to be extremely careful tonight as we go back and forth on all of this. All right, let's check wind now, what we've got. Let's pull this up back up where you're looking at what I am. Let's go in and see how bad the winds are at this point. Right now, and again, we expect it to be worse in an hour from now. This dark green is what we've got where heavy winds are. Northern Neshoba County, if you'll look at this, all of this area getting pretty stout winds. This stretches across 25, these areas here north of Philadelphia. We hadn't gotten anything down here near the ferry yet. But as we go over here to Leake and Attala County, look at all that. There's a lot of wind there, and it's stretching and coming in to northern Kemper County. Now, we get over here to the east, as I mentioned, Geiger, Gainesville. Y'all are getting some serious wind as it comes across there. We go south here, and Livingston as well. Is in between Livingston and Demopolis. Look how rough that gets. Now, we've got winds coming up on Cuba, Alabama as well. This stretch in between York and Cuba, look at that. That is a lot of wind coming in with that. So we're going to be watching this over the next little bit to make sure this doesn't worsen and get any worse with this. And we do hope this eventually fades out. We're looking for a long night, at least another 3 hours as we approach all of these storms. We want everybody to be safe. Now, let's look at this, what's happening here. Right outside of York, we have a storm that's going to be reaching standard within the next 22 minutes. With this, if you grade this on a scale of 1 to 10, could this become anything worse? We're rating this at a little bit below a 3, a 2.9. That's good news. As long as we keep these numbers low, we're wonderful. That's great. We'll look at this second storm we've got here. This just to the northeast of Cuba, Alabama, and it will be at Cuba. So if you live in Cuba right now, expect a storm to be on top of you within the next 7 minutes. Now, anything can happen with these. I want y'all to always remember. Sometimes I remember watching other meteorologists that track storms before, and how radar sometimes can be tricky. If I'm in your neck of the woods, treat it as if it's already on you, because we constantly bring this up about where this radar, how we get the images. It comes to us from Jackson, Mississippi over here. And over here, no matter how you do it, there is a water tower over there that affects the way this gets out. And it doesn't pick up storms sometimes below a certain amount of feet, below 6,000 feet, I believe is the number. So we're always cautious. And I urge this, we don't have anything. All right, let's show this. Let's look right over here, Montgomery, Alabama. Everybody looking at this? These on my radar system mean business. When you get this, if we get this in the Meridian area, you see these swirls? That right there is 70-mile-an-hour winds, and this is just south of Montgomery, Alabama. They have a second storm there that's got these 58 miles an hour. When you see those and it's anywhere near your home, regardless of where there's a watch, a warning, take it serious because it is wind, and it is very dangerous. And 9 out of 10 times whenever we get that in our area with these swirls that show up on this radar, there is almost always damage to power lines, trees, something happens. So always keep in mind if you follow me and you keep up with my weather, and this comes up on our radar system, you see there's 3 now showing up in Montgomery. They're getting some serious weather right now. Whenever we get those in our area, please pay attention to it. As I've mentioned so many times to the many people that follow us, if you've got a tree that overhangs your bedroom, do not stay in that tonight. Because we're going to have wind, we're going to have lightning. Lightning can strike a tree and then break a limb off. We don't want any tree coming through your home. If you stay in I think everybody's had a habit of falling asleep in a chair. If you've got one in your living room, don't stay in there tonight. Don't fall asleep in a chair. Move to another place if you've got a chair overhanging in those areas. Let's see. Gloria tells us lightning detected 3 miles within Little Rock. That is true. As we go back up here, let me read some more comments. I've been yakking for a moment. Doug Thomas, how are you? Glad you're watching us tonight from Lake Edens. Let's see here. Miss Lynn Swain, Kemper County, how are you doing? Decatur joins us. James Sullivan, glad you're there. Pat and Jim Coker. Kay Gray is watching us from Butler, Alabama. Yes, Butler's going to get some serious rain here in just a little bit. It will make its way toward y'all. Hadn't made it there yet, but as we do those future forecasts, it will make it there. And yes, Beverly was asking about Clark County. Once this stuff makes it in here after 10 o'clock and starts making its way across Lauderdale County, Clark County will also get its fair share of heavy rain downpour. Union, and again, we're looking anywhere to be on the safe side. Let's call it 9:30 forward to 1 a.m. As we're starting in these northern portions here, already starting to see some rain. As you'll see here, this is not as heavy as it was. You see how lighter that has gotten in comparison to some of this weather that we've got over here? That looks better for us. Hopefully this will die out and fade away in a little bit, but it hasn't yet. It's Mother Nature. I always watch these and give it the worst case scenario in case it does go bad. This is what I'm concerned about. This area here in Alabama that's pushing its way toward Mississippi. This is serious weather here. This seems to be like a lone storm that came up here. But this stuff here concerns me. Demopolis, Alabama, Uniontown, Alabama. I want y'all to be on your P's and Q's over the next little bit. And especially if you're due east of here, anywhere from Selma to Montgomery, and you might happen to be watching, I want y'all to be really, really careful. Now, let's go back up here to northern Kemper County. Let's look at southern Knoxville County and all this area from Winston joining here, what's going on. We got several storms that have popped up. Let's look here. Golson. This is going to cut through here, and that's in Knoxville County. Golson is. All 3 of these towns that are listed here, Clearman, all of this. All right, we got something new. Hang on just a second that just fired off. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, what we were just looking at, now issued for Kemper and Knoxville County. So we know what that is. That just fired off as we're looking at this. Let's pull this back up where you can see this again. Right here, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning for Kemper County until 9:30. As this storm moves across it. So all our Kemper County friends, if you're watching, welcome to the party. You now have your very own severe thunderstorm warning to call your own. Let's close this out. And again, the 3 towns, what I was talking about before that got issued, are going to be there in Knoxville County, but it is definitely making its way into Kemper County. All of this area here is going to get these storms. Second storm coming out of Louisville. As we go up here to Louisville, let's look at this. I know a lot of you in this area here, just south of there, you got to get out to Lake Teocata. We got some showers there. And in between there on Highway 25 out to right there out to J&S Food, that area there, you're going to get in some heavy rain. But it gets worse as you go further down 25 as we look at this. Now, Noxapater there at the Dollar General downtown, y'all got some heavy rains. And now we're starting to see these showers in Neshoba County show up at the Coliseum. Heavy, heavy. And look at the lightning there as we look at this. Watching carefully. All right, as we come across here, and again, let's look at the lines that they've drawn for Kemper County as we pull this up here. All right, all of this is going to cut across. This is going to be right here at Damascus. This will be just north of Damascus, this severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30. And that's a long time because we're sitting at 8:18 and they're giving this till 9:30. What does that tell us? It's a slow-moving storm, and they're giving it a lot of extra time to play into this. As we've got Kemper County until 9:30, again, y'all expect this stuff to start rolling into Lauderdale, Newton counties, 10 p.m. or so. As we look at Geiger, it's pouring rain. Let's look at downtown Geiger. If you've been through Geiger, up where the United Methodist Church is, that area is dumping rain on y'all right here. Let's look at this where the worst of it is. This is Highway 17. This storm here is going to be at Panola within 10 minutes. But as we zoom in, let me get off of that and close that. As we look at these areas here, I didn't do something right. I don't know what I've done there, why that won't go away. There we go. We zoom in here to Highway 17. This is going to be Mount Tabor Road, that area all the way up here to Panola Parkway. That's the worst of what we've got sitting right there at St. Mary's Church. If you're familiar with that on Highway 17, y'all be extra careful. Can't hardly see. And then also over here at Galilee Baptist Church, y'all have got just as much rain coming down as that. As we move back out of and move down Alabama here out of Geiger, and we look at Bennsville there at the United Methodist Church. Now, this is going to be all that back road here, that dirt road that connects into Alabama here that runs into Geiger, almost where you couldn't see to travel that road at this point. As we zoom in on this, it's probably going to be out just about where the fork is after you leave Scuba and that east, get out toward Ben Dudley's in that area there. Pouring rain, that little landing strip that's right across there. A lot of rain there in Geiger, so we know that. Now we're starting to show some rain at the mansion in Kemper as you're getting right there at the line as you get ready to go into Alabama. The old mansion that sits on top of the hill. Can't miss it. The Neville Court, the Neville Place. Pouring rain there. We're starting to get showers there at Kim Waste as well as we'll go down. Still heavy showers around the University of West Alabama and in between Livingston and York, Alabama. Even worse rain that we've got here. We look at the high school, and that's going to be sitting right there, Sumter Central High. We zoom in on this. Look at all this rain here. All through there. And this is going to be County Road, if I'm reading that right. 613, if I'm reading that right. No, that's County Road 13. I read that wrong. Sorry about that. That writing got kind of fine on me. Small, but we've got all that showers around there. Still raining at Cuba. Not as bad on the eastern side of Lauderdale County right now. And again, as I pointed out, most likely the showers that we're going to see is going to be worse as the evening goes in for Lauderdale County. Let me double check here and make sure we hadn't gotten anything new here. That was the last severe thunderstorm for Kemper County that came in on that. Always double check these things of 2 to 3 different ways because sometimes one notifies us quicker than the other. Again, we're looking at this here. We've got this first one that has expired now for Winston County. You're out of this. And that first thunderstorm warning that was issued for Neshoba County has expired. We got a lot of rain back over here north of Carthage. Y'all see that? A lot of it there. Kosciuszko is starting to get a break there. But again, our worst of the worst is here. We're still watching the storms as they near Kemper County, Faith Hill, these areas right there. That still has not gotten into Kemper County. And this is going to drag out. Again, we'll take a break in a minute and come back because it will increasingly get worse as this evening progresses as we move along. Now, let me check to make sure I hadn't gotten any inboxes here that anybody needed to know about. I have to flip screens and get around all of this. Let's see here. We're getting several pictures here of different areas with the heavy rain. Lightning strike in Tucker. I got a picture of that. Keevy Davis, thank you for sending that. Got a lightning strike there and a bunch of rain pictures that are pouring in. I'll try to get somebody up to help us here in the next little bit. Let me go back and double check here while we're doing this. Leake, Neshoba, 60-mile-an-hour gust is associated with this in northern Neshoba County. Also, we're picking up some possibilities, some hail in these areas as well. And I want to look at one more thing before I go back to the other screen and double check my time-wise of what we've been talking about when these storms will enter the area. Right now we're sitting at 8:20, and we've got storms to the east. And as I do a scan here, we start seeing the first Philadelphia getting some heavy rain by 10 p.m. No major storms, but we do see rain at 10. As we get into updated equipment area, the eastern side there, somewhere around 10:45, we'll see showers. And as we get later in the evening, it's going to be right at midnight when heavy showers and storms start coming in from Livingston, Alabama, where they come back in from Kemper County into Lauderdale. So this storm keeps getting pushed a little bit later, and then at 12:50 at night, it's going to be pouring to where you can hardly see. And this does include the city limits of Newton. Equipment at midnight, not so bad as we fast forward after that, and I take a look at this. Somewhere right around, let's call it 1 a.m., equipment, y'all be ready because it'll be a storm on that. And this continues for Meridian through 2 a.m. Newton, you will still be involved in this in most of Kemper County and all of Clark County. So we have a very long night of thunderstorm activity to go. Now, Decatur, yes, you will be included in all that showers. Again, the heavy stuff will start after 10, and it's looking like now as it keeps getting pushed that the worst of the worst will be closer to midnight. Now, it doesn't mean that with each one of these there will be thunderstorm warnings issued with this. The odds are likely, from what I'm looking at on our scans there, what I looked at for later purposes. So let me change that and pull radar back up to keep this in the background here where you can see this. But we are seeing that this is going to be a late arriving storm, although it's all around us. As we look at this Kemper County severe thunderstorm warning, it's got a lot of life left on it before it expires. We're sitting at 8:30, still an hour and 5 minutes left on this. Now, as you can see, this storm that we've got here in Philadelphia, not near as bad as what we've got over here. It is a lot of rain with it, but it is not near what we've got right here in Alabama. As radar does its update there. Let's zoom in and look at some streets and things that what we've got going on here in Neshoba County and show you exactly what we've got. And we'll go back over and look at this as it makes its way in. All of these yellow marks, that is lightning that has actually struck the ground. One of the last lightning strikes, just look there. That was at 8:23, 3 minutes ago. And this was right due north of the Exxon station. That's where that would be at Edinburgh as we turn on locations. There's that Exxon station where you go up. This will be just east of there. As we follow along, that's going to be on Mars Hill Road right there. Here's Old Cannon Church as we look at that. Showers are just to the east of y'all. Now, again, as we look at all of this, this is north of here. Burnside Park getting a lot of rain right now. We are showing that the Neshoba County Fair now has some showers over it. It's not horrible. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning at this point, but coming a good little rain there. Nothing to be concerned about. We've had one lightning strike due south of the fairgrounds, south of 21. That struck about 8:15. So there's no lightning so far that has struck anywhere near the fairgrounds. We'll watch that. We don't want anybody to get struck by lightning that is in those areas there. Across 485 east of there, expect this hill to be at the storm to be at Beat Line within 22 minutes and Tucker within 25 minutes. And again, this is not a strong storm, but it is. It does have some heavy rain there. And we do have hail mentioned here on the radar. I'm not picking up anything major with hail on this. The hail, when it shows up, would be a big purple mark right here. And we've had hail up in this area here in Winston County, up around Shiloh Baptist Church, if you'll see that. But not so much in Neshoba County at this point. We are showing that we've had hail up in these areas here of Knoxville County around the Dollar General there at Sugarlock. We've had a bunch there. Now, this is starting to show that the storm will move into Kemper. As we see Wahala, we'll get the storm within 30 minutes. So if you're in Wahala, y'all be ready. 30 minutes, you're going to get a storm. Now, here's what I brought up just a little bit ago. Let's go back over here to Alabama, just north of Livingston. Now, again, we don't have a lot going on in Lauderdale County, but we do want to pay attention to this storm right here. This is going to be on Highway 11. This is going to be just due east of there. Here's Livingston, due north of y'all. Let's move up here and take a look here. This is going to be Bluffport Road, just to the west of you, where Hawkins Chapel is. Due west of there, if you were headed back toward Mississippi, kind of northwest of there, in that area there, you got some winds that are whooping up that are around 58 miles an hour. This is Houston Cemetery, Ernest Tart Pond, that area right there across there. We have some very critical wind that is happening there. So this is to the northeast. If we look at the big picture here, University of West Alabama, we got a lot of wind and rain and storms up in that area there. This storm should be reaching Zion Hill within a half an hour. Should be at Brewersville with 28 minutes. That's what we're watching closely as all of this progresses throughout the afternoon. And it's been a lot of hail there. All of our friends that are watching there in Alabama, y'all see the hail and what it's done in those areas. Not so much over here. We hadn't gotten it. And again, we will watch all of this and keep you up to date as to what's going on. All right, let's close this where we can see a bigger bird's eye view of the entire state. Let me back out and show you the state. We hadn't looked at that very much. We got light showers back out here to our west. And with this, as we show the severe weather, the storm prediction, let's just look at this. This is what we're looking at right across here from Monroe. They extended it. It was right here, and they extended this back to Monroe. And this was going all the way to the Carolinas. They've shortened this just to Mississippi and Alabama, basically, from Monroe over to Auburn, Alabama. This is where the centralized storms will be. Again, no tornadoes expected with this, but we do expect heavy winds to be involved with this storm as we watch this. And we're watching this in Sumter here, these serious wind that we got going on there. Let's turn this off and go back and look at that again. Making sure nothing else has happened there. Let me look at one more screen while we're looking at this, make sure nothing new is going on. 60-mile-an-hour winds in Holmes and Humphrey County and LaFleur County. We're picking up a lot there. Nothing has changed with the thunderstorm in Leake and Neshoba counties. All of that is the same. All right, let's go back to our map. Pull this up here. Let's look here at Livingston, Alabama. We got Gainesville, Geiger, Alabama. Let me grab y'all's attention just a moment here. We got some shear winds that are pretty serious over here. 58-mile-an-hour winds. Now, this is on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. This is at a 3.2 on this storm. Let's dive into this, show you where this is. This is Highway 17. This is Geiger. If you were to go across the pastures there and go on out here, this is going to be County Road 85 is where this is. This is Woodward Lakes, if you're familiar with the area. This is just to the west of there. This is going to be over at Barnes Pond. Right here is what we've got, the storm sitting up on that. Spring Hill Church. This is going to be just due south of the fork of County Road 35 and County Road 85. Y'all pay close attention if you live in this area here. A lot of wind moving across. We want y'all to be safe. If you're in that area and you have trees that overhang your house, get to a safe place. Again, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have serious winds involved with the storms as it makes its way across the county and through this area. We've got a lot of hail that has passed through Gainesville. We move on down and see that we do have a lot of hail here just around Livingston and east of Livingston, in between there and Demopolis, Alabama. We have several little storms, and we've got some wind. Let's look at this. Those are coming and going. As we see this, we've had several pop up and disappear. All right, let's look at this. We got shear winds, and this is the worst that we've seen so far tonight. This will be northwest of Livingston, Alabama. Let's go in on this and see where we are. This is 17, and this is going to be Alabama 28. And this is pretty much the shortcut if you were coming out of Kemper County and what everybody uses off of 17 to go to Livingston, that cut-through road that runs over to Livingston, Alabama. That's what we're going to pay attention to, where this wind is. Let's zoom in closer on this. Mount Pilgrim Primitive Baptist Church. If you're familiar with Highway 28, here's Parker Cemetery. That heavy wind, again, I don't want to make anybody nervous, but these are winds that are in the air. Can they come down at any time? They absolutely can. We're clocking this storm with 81-mile-an-hour winds. It's a 1-mile wide storm that is in that area. So if you're over here on the edge of Alabama, pay close attention to that. These can knock out power quickly, can cause damage. All right, let's look at County Road 28. We got another one here. This is not as bad. This is, well, if you're sitting here, your house is here, it's bad. That's 70 miles an hour. This one's a little bit stronger as it's kind of wedged, both of these just kind of north of Livingston, Alabama. Y'all be careful in these areas there. If you live on the rural route in those areas there, we want you safe, by all means. Let's go down and look at Lauderdale County. All is good here. Clark County, you are good now. Newton, you are good. We go north of Union. We're still showing showers around the Neshoba County Fair. Now we're starting to, let's turn this back on. We are showing some lightning strikes just to the east of the fairgrounds. None exactly at the fairgrounds, but east of you there is. All right, now we'll look at this. This is 485. That's where that chase happened today, a little bit earlier ago, to where Neshoba County made that arrest earlier. McDonald, Beatline, you'll have the storm as it moves away from the fair. It will reach Bessadia about within 25 minutes. By 9 a.m., it will be there. We want y'all to be aware of the storms that are moving. We got two different sails with the storm. We have another one here that's going to be approaching Tucker. It comes and goes as it comes back and forth as radar updates on this. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning will last until 8:45 is what we're looking at. 10 minutes remaining on this. We'll see what happens on this. And we jump across here to Kemper County, and this is still going to linger on for quite a while for Kemper County. Another 55 minutes remaining on this. Geiger, Alabama, y'all are under this severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock as we look at that. So another 25 minutes, and that could be extended as we see just more and more rain coming in on that. Again, we're showing a lot of activity over here in Alabama here. Let's look at this, shear winds. If you'll see that little mark right there, this is southwest of Livingston. Boy, it's some serious weather there. This is Highway 28, and look at the lightning. And it is coming true with the forecast of how much lightning is being involved with this as it makes its way toward Mississippi out of Alabama here. We had lightning strikes. That was at 8:22. That was a little over 10 minutes ago. 8:29, 7 minutes ago. And we look here, 8:33. That was 3 minutes ago. So it's still popping. We have right there 81 mile an hour shear winds. Let's zoom in and take a look at this as we look at this. This is going to be Southern Sportsman Road is where that is. Southern Sportsman Loop right there. A heavy, heavy wind coming through here. This is County Road 22, this area here that is to the, let's back out where you can see it. Here's Livingston right here. This is going to be southeast of Livingston off of Highway 28. A lot of wind involved with that. York, Alabama, starting to see a little bit break on the northern portion of York, Alabama. Not so bad now. It's all kind of moved to the east. Again, this will come and go and make its breaks. And again, our timeline that we're looking at it on the Mississippi side will be late into the evening of the worst of weather that will arrive through Lauderdale County and on into Clark County. It's going to be a bunch of it as we watch this through these evening hours. Let's go back up and take a look here. What we will do is we'll stay with this severe thunderstorm warning, see what happens here. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back in a little bit and rejoin this storm. It's going to be plenty of time to cover all this because it looks to be a long night ahead of us as we look at this. Nick Cornbread tells us it's heavy rain and wind in Giles, which is just east of Scuba. And this right here, if you'll look at this right there, this is Giles where Cornbread's talking about. And you would be somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, about right there is where you're located at, if I know the maps and about where your house is. So be careful. Little Billy, all of y'all that live through there, Mr. Henry, it's heavy rain upon y'all there at your house, right through there all the way into Geiger. It's raining so hard here in between downtown Geiger and where you would make it over here to Kim Waste, you can't see the road. I highly suggest if you're over there, just stay at the store a little while. Ride this out. And I wouldn't suggest driving in it now at all. Wait it out there. Highway 19 South, Denville, it will be Crystal. It'll be a little bit later on in the evening before it makes it here. Again, we're at 8:30 now. We're expecting all of this, the heavier stuff to roll in 10 o'clock or so. We've got Kemper County that's under a severe thunderstorm warning until 10 o'clock. Now, y'all watching all this over here on the right side of our screen? Our friends, and let me turn this off so you don't see so many of these, but this is serious wind here. All of this, as we look at this, these severe thunderstorm warnings through 9 o'clock. I was making sure that there was nothing new associated with that as they cancel a few different areas. But Livingston, Alabama, the hail and the wind in those areas is a lot, and especially north and east of there, in between Epps and Livingston, those areas there. This is sitting right on 20. 91 mile an hour shear winds. Let's get a closer look at this. Here's Livingston. This is coming up right on the exit. If you're traveling 20 and you were going to Livingston, Alabama out of Meridian, right before you get to that exit within a mile of there, this is where this sheer wind is. So if you're anywhere, County Road 12, y'all keep this in mind. Keep a weather eye out. It doesn't mean, again, that it's on the ground doing damage. It means that it can knock down trees, power lines. It can knock these trees in your house. We want y'all to be careful anywhere in this area here. Driving into Livingston. A lot of wind on y'all. We look here just southeast of Livingston. Look at that. We got another storm here with 58. North of you, if we watch this just east of Highway 11, we've got shear winds of 81 miles an hour, another one with 58. And then let's zoom in. This one doesn't want to cooperate with me. It's 58 on that one. That's Houston Cemetery is where this is. Ernest Tart Pond, those areas there. Y'all familiar with this? Here's Shiloh Church. Here's McDonald's. All of this is going to be due east of Livingston, out in this area here, there with the sheer winds. I want y'all to be careful in those areas. Again, as we look at Lauderdale, we're okay right now. Now, let me look back at comments and see what... will I go live at midnight if it's bad? Yes, I certainly will. We will cover it no matter where it is. Let's see. Billy Green said, Winston County, you saw my comment from earlier. Stay in a safe place. You come out of Kemper County, you might need to be in a safe place until it passes. It's not a tornado warning. I could just see it. A severe thunderstorm warning. Could be a tornado, and that's why I saw it. All right, we got something else occurring. Let me see what this is here. All right, Lauderdale County has just gone under a severe thunderstorm warning. They're picking up this a little bit earlier, and most likely will be a long, extended one. Let's look at this. This is going to be northern Lauderdale County is what they've just put on us. As we pull this up, I'll hit the wrong button as we go back to radar. Lauderdale County now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 10 o'clock. As we watch this, and again, with thunderstorms, timelines can speed up, they can slow down. We're sitting at 20 minutes till 9 and virtually no rain in Lauderdale County at this point. They're predicting that more is to come. This is just bad. I'm telling you, Livingston, Alabama, y'all be prepared, because this is a taste of what's over there is what will come into Lauderdale County in a little bit. We've got, what is that? That's 5. All right, let's look at this. They're rating this at a 4. This is potential severity of wind when we get one of these. Now, this is only a 4 out of 10, but this is the wind on this serious. Let's zoom in and look at our track here of what we've got in Livingston, Alabama. This is going to cross 28. This is in between, if I'm reading this right, Bluffport Road, and then out west of here, in between there and Houston Cemetery. This is going to be Highway 28, Highway 11, just east of there. Y'all pay attention. This is going to go due right over Highway 28. Livingston, Alabama, y'all be prepared for some heavy wind in the area. Very likely you could lose power in the next few moments in those areas. Just have a weather plan. Be prepared. All right, let's move back over here. As we look at all of this, this is serious around Livingston, 58. We got shear winds of 81 miles an hour right here at the county line. Let's move over here and look at this. Here's Meridian, Lauderdale County. Here's Kemper County. This is going to be to the northeast of Lauderdale, Mississippi. right here at the county line. This is 58-mile-an-hour shear winds. The second one behind it has 70. Let's zoom in and look and see exactly where this is. This is going to be just due north of York Road. This is where you'd cut across from Lauderdale. It's Highway 17, those areas. A lot of wind on this, so this is making its way slowly but surely toward the Lauderdale County area. But Livingston, I can't stress enough, as y'all keep seeing this, the storm increasingly gets worse. If you live in Lisbon, Alabama, Pennington, if you live in Myrtlewood, y'all be prepared. Livingston, Alabama, this is all on the top of y'all right now. This is a very serious storm, severe thunderstorm warning. It is nothing more than a severe thunderstorm warning, but nonetheless, we've got strong winds involved with these shear winds all the way around with this, and we want y'all to be as safe as you can. As we look at this, let's how this storm will shape out here. This is headed toward Indian Springs and Edna and Pelham area here. And if you'll look at these white dots, these are the towns that it brings up that it will be at. And it gives that timeline of when it will reach there. This is Pennington, Alabama. This storm here will be just to the west of there as it makes its way across there. And if you follow that, that could very easily later on make its way here into Clark County, as this stuff increasingly seems to be picking up with these storms. All right, let's go back here. Let me turn this to where we can see here. At the moment, just light showers around the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. We got heavier rain showing up here north of Pearl River. If you're out at the casino, be prepared. If you live anywhere on Highway 16, it's going to dump tons of rain on you here in the next little bit. It will be a lot there. We have a storm that's going to make its way here, right over here to Talbot. Kenny, if y'all are watching, y'all be prepared for a storm that is headed right toward Talbot Enterprises. It will make its way there towards you there. Beat line will get this storm within 10 minutes, and in half an hour from now, it will make its way across the county right to downtown House. So I told you it's coming. Y'all get yourself wet there in a minute. All right, let's look at this and backing this off. Let me check on power outages. I haven't looked at anything on power outages over the last little bit on the Mississippi side here. Attala County, as we look at EMEPA, has 7 people without power. As we look at that in Attala County, nothing major yet, which is a good sign on that. We'll watch that carefully as this progresses across the evening there of what we have. I'm double checking here. Holmes County getting a lot of wind also, and no changes on the Kemper County and Lauderdale County severe thunderstorm warning. All of that is still the same as we watch this evening. All right, let me make some switches here and go back to where we were. As we pull this back in, and I hit the wrong button. And there we go. Now we can see once again as we look at this. Again, we're getting these strong winds out to our east and Alabama. That is a mess, to say the least, of what we've got going on there. All right, let's zoom in on this and get a closer look. Livingston, Alabama, still upon you. We've got these winds north of York. And if this follows suit, the folks around York and these areas, y'all be prepared. Y'all are going to be getting this wind as well tonight. This severe thunderstorm warning, as you see, cuts off right here at Tumsuba. It will cut across Marion. So we're looking at now through 10 o'clock the northern portion of Lauderdale County. And this doesn't mean that it won't get worse and take in the entire county there of what we've got. Hang on just a second. Making sure we didn't have an issue there. Made sure we're all good there. As we continue to watch these storms, we've got, let's see here, Kemper County. You're going to have this until 9. Recapping what we've got, so everybody's on this 9:30. As we go back over here and we take a look, 10 p.m. This covers a large portion. If you'll look at this, this cuts across Philadelphia, takes in Lauderdale County, the northern portion, right there at Decatur. Any folks watching from Decatur? And yes, Elizabeth, thunderstorm warning in Neshoba as we look at this. All of that area there. We've got this in this line here, Newton County, and this until 10 p.m., and it cuts straight across from Tumsuba to Decatur, northward up to the city limits of Philadelphia, and then cuts back across and barely grabs that corner of Kemper County. Now, if you live in Lauderdale, Mississippi, a heads up as we watch this right across the county line. Right there at the state line is where these winds are, and that is serious wind. Let's zoom in on this. It hadn't made it to Lauderdale, but it's within a stone's throw, as the old saying says. Look at that. Right there. We got two storms there. One's at 58. This other one has shear winds of 91 miles an hour. And what this tells us, it's in the air. It has the potential to come down. I don't want to make anybody think that I'm telling you that this is on the ground 91 miles an hour with destruction. I'm not. I'm telling you it's in the air. At any time it can cause damage with these shear winds. And we've seen on a sunny day shear winds, a thunderstorm pop up and it tear up a barn. That can happen with these type storms. And we've been watching this all day as we continue to push this urge that it is definitely, we got wind, we've got lightning, two bad combinations. Now, nowhere in this, and I've been asked this several times about tornadoes. They are not projected tonight. Only thunderstorm warnings. And I'm like you, Crystal. I don't like them at all. Period. Do I like them? And Graham says, kind of scary. It is. I have a deep respect for storms and thunderstorms, and I think most of the people that follow me kind of feel that same way. You respect what it is. You learn through the years of living of what a storm can do and the capabilities of it. And we've all seen the loss of life from storms, of the damage of what Mother Nature can do. So I respect it. And we watch it and we go live with this anytime that there is bad weather to let you know. We're watching this now. Y'all be careful up here around Lauderdale in southeastern Kemper County. Right there on the edge. We want y'all to be extra cautious of what's going on with this weather. Not much happening in Lauderdale County right now, but we have the potential for some stuff to happen here in a little bit. And I want all of us to be on top of this as it comes about this afternoon. As we back out and we look at the worst of the storms north of us, Macon, Mississippi, right there at the four-way stop is where this line is. And then it moves south, following down Highway 45 almost to a T. We've had a bunch of hail fall down on Highway 45 in between Sugarlock and Macon. A lot of that. It's heavy there. As we get to Scuba, we're starting to pick up some lightning now. Now, just out here, as you go past Dozer Road, right in that area there, Lover's Lane, it is dumping rain. And the further that you go toward Geiger, Alabama on Highway 16 before dead ends there at 17, the worse it's going to get. Out by Jimmy's house, y'all be prepared for that. Out by David Bryan, those areas there. Cats and dogs is what it's doing in your area right now. We have a storm that's moving out of Macon area, out of Sugarlock, that's going to be approaching Millington and Bennsville within 21 minutes. That'll make it out toward Ben Dudley's house. That area right in there. Y'all be prepared. You got a storm headed your way. As we look at this, that is on the scale of 1 to 10 of severity. This one rakes in just below a 4. Still strong. As we watch these throughout the evening hours. All right, Philadelphia looks a little bit better. We still are showing that we have had a bunch of hail come down through here. As we look at this Pearl River, you got a storm sitting almost on top of the casino there. Turn on that location there. Here's this is just about a mile west of the casino. And it'll be at the casino in just a moment there. Good Hope, you'll get it in 18 minutes, Philadelphia. You'll have that storm within 22 minutes as we look at this. Again, we've got this storm until 10 o'clock here for Neshoba County. All right. Our biggest concern that we really want to pay attention to is this, what's going on right here. Let's turn this off. All of our friends that are in northern Lauderdale County, I want y'all to be heads up. Kemper County, this is now in you with serious wind. Let's get into this. It's crossed over from that state line Let's look at this. It's bouncing back and forth. If you saw that right there. Let's zoom in on this and take a look here. This is going to be Highway 45. This is just due north of Lauderdale, Mississippi. All right, let me zoom here. Let's get some roads here for what we've got going on. This is the old Highway 45 is where this is. If y'all remember that robbery we talked about a few weeks ago where the man got shot in the face, this is right up there just due east of where they were. Just due north of where they were on that old 45 there. All right, here's an old Highway 45. Let's get some roads out here and let you know. This is Mount Hebron Cemetery. This is going to be in Kemper County as we look at this. This is Henry Wedgeworth Road. You've got some shear winds just to the west of you at 81 miles an hour. This right here, if you live in that Jones Road area, we want y'all to be on extra precaution at this point as this storm makes its way through here. And again, this is Kemper County is what we're looking at right now. Barely into Kemper County. We got two different cells in Kemper County. As we'll look here, here's to give you a broader picture to tell you where we are. This is the Chicken Shack right here. This is going to be 2 Mile Bottom. Right through here as you get toward the Chicken Shack, it's going to be to the east of here. You get up to Jack Webb's store, and if you were to follow this all the way to the Bama, to the State Line Road, I believe is what that name is, you're going to run into another one. Now, that's one of the highest I've ever picked up on my radar, ever. That's clocking, and again, I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want you to panic, but that is clocking in shear winds of 115 miles an hour. Again, let me stress that doesn't mean that it's on the ground, it's in the air, and with that, it can mean damage. If you live in here, let's just be on the safe side of life. Let's look at some areas here. Here's Briggs Chapel right there. If you live anywhere in this Briggs Chapel area, I'll be prepared with the storm as it comes across there. That's serious wind of what we've got going on in Kemper County at this point. We go back here. And I'm dead serious over that. That is the most wind I have ever picked up on this system that I've been using it forever. That is strong. We've got 68. That's normally what we're going to get is around those 70 right here at the state line. Eastern right here east of the Ralph Morgan Rodeo, right across that Bama line. You see, you've got 68 there. We move back over here in Alabama. Let me just give you some more examples if we've got any more. We've narrowed it down to only 4 of these left on radar at any given point. And all of that is right in our area. I don't see any more anywhere else. So let's go back up here. That has not changed. Kemper County, y'all be prepared on this for wind damage. This can mess up roofs. It can have strong effects. And with this, all in the same note, only if you're in this location do you really know actually what's going on. I can give you what radar is indicating. Sometimes these things blow over and it never touches down. But we want to be on the safer side of life and be prepared with whatever could be. So if you're if you're south of the Chicken Shack and north of Lauderdale, Mississippi, north of the Ralph Morgan Rodeo on that southeastern side of Kemper County, we want y'all to be extremely careful. I hadn't gotten any reports, and let me make sure that local storm reports, I've got that on. And how that all works there is that people call all that in to the National Weather Service if there's damage anywhere or if there's trees down, and it pops up on the radar to where we can get that out to you a little bit quicker there. Let me check one other thing here of what we've got going on to make sure. They're still saying easily 60-mile-an-hour winds from Jackson for the Kemper County is what they're calling that. Again, I'm looking at what I'm showing on our end, and on the safe side, we'll stick with what we're saying there. 60 or whatever, it's still dangerous there. But these are our 2 cells that we're watching there. Still no change in that. All right, it's time. I'm going to do a hard, as we watch this. This will go blank for just a second because I want to update this and make sure that we've got the most accurate information that can be given with the storm. As we go back in, we got 80, And we still showing this to be a serious storm here in Kemper County. Scuba, you've got thunderstorms approaching you now. If you live downtown Scuba, it's going to rattle some windows there for a little while. We have a storm that will be at Scuba in half an hour. We'll reach you by 9:24. And with the blink of an eye, we've got more wind back up here around Livingston. All right, we've got some wind occurring in Lauderdale County now. Let's zoom in on this. And this is, we turn in our locations there. And as always, if you're watching this, share. If you'll click the share, and this gets out further to more people when you do that, so they'll be prepared of what's going on. All right, we're picking up, and again, this is a double whammy over here as we look at this wind here. This is going to be just due east of the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. Let's go out and take a look. This is going to be Oxford Road. Here's York Road here. If you're going here and you were to take the Oxford Road, you won't get down it more than a mile, and we got some serious wind occurring there. Donna says it's a bad storm there in Kemper. I agree with that. Right here is what we're looking at now. This is Ralph Morgan's house, Rodeo. We go just east there. You cross railroad tracks, and you go out where the road splits. Oxford Road, you won't go more than a mile, and you're going to bump into this storm here that's got all this sheer wind. North of you, north of Oxford Road, the heavier the rain is. If you'll look at this as it makes its way in. We got showers now moving into Dalewood in those areas. In Dalewood, this could come across in this area here. I want y'all to be careful there. Now, again, I haven't had any reports of damage from anywhere. We're going to still treat this stuff as it being absolutely horrible is the best way to handle anything. And if nothing happens, then we're all the merrier. We're good, aren't we? As Teresa said, we just had a lot of lightning and rain in the Coy community in Kemper County there at Neshoba County line. Quiet and muggy in Newton County, it is. Raining in Scuba, Kyla says. Neshoba County Fairgrounds, getting really bad at the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. David, thanks for checking in with us there. We're looking at all of that right there. And as we look at that storm right there, all that lightning there at Neshoba County Fairgrounds. You got a storm. If you're at the Neshoba County Fairgrounds watching right now, you've got a storm that's going to cut right through there. It will be there within 10 minutes. So if you're at the Neshoba County Fairground, be prepared. There's another round of this coming your way here in the next few moments. It's going to, if you'll look at that, it's making its way directly through the fairgrounds, cross 485 and cross Highway 15, and then head toward Highway 19. Keep that in mind, my friends. Let's go back over here and look at this. Rain in Scuba, as Kyla had mentioned there, it ought to be pretty heavy at this point as we look at that. Walt says he heard the front coming into the Dalewood area there. All right, as we looked at a lot of thunder and lightning in Preston, Crystal tells us. Heavy rain getting up. Just getting bad in the House community. Clint Hunt coming down in Union. Super strong winds, as he said there. And this is the Union area there, just north of there. It really kicks up. Let's go back in here. We're looking at 901. I'm going to do another hard reboot. We got so much wind. I don't want to cut anything off and get any late data on this. We want the absolute latest that the system has to offer as we look at this. All right, let's go back up here. Not much has changed since the last time that we were here looking at this, since we've done this update. Here's the rodeo arena, and again, just due east of there, Oxford Road is where all this is. This is York Road, and this will cut across here as it comes across. It'll follow right around Luther Cobb Road, the storm will. And if you'll see this, the Payne Cemetery area, if you live in those areas there, expect some winds and some storms to make it your way. Both of these still packing 68-mile-an-hour sheer winds with it. And this is sitting right on top of Oxford Road. Now, I think this is a driveway of what this is going to be. It doesn't give me a road name on that, so that tells me this is some form of a driveway. Let me see what that had to say. Lightning within 15 miles of the country store, and that would be out there at Pine Springs is what radar is telling me there. So we got lightning coming closer into the Meridian area there. Again, as we look at this road right here, let's zoom in on this, see what we've got. Or is this another no-named road? And I think that is. This is Oxford Road, and it's going to split here, and this is going to be Luther Ray Cobb Road. So this is not more than a mile from there at most. Let's do this distance. Here's York Road, just to make sure I'm right on this. Now, I had guessed a mile, and it's 0.8 of a mile from that storm to there, as we look at that from York Road to there. And as we pull this, back over here. That's 1 mile roughly in between those two areas there. Let me turn that off, and we're going to go up here and clear the distance too, so we can see once again. It's showing that the winds have lightened up in that area right there. We show that now just east of here, this is across Luther Cobb Road, Luther Ray. We're showing right out in here, we got 81 mile an hour shear winds. This is going to be north of Luther Ray Road and south of Oxford Road. And this road right here is going to be Billy Bell Road, just east of you there. And again, this is east of Lauderdale County, in between there and the state line. Extreme heavy winds is what we've got going on in this area right here. Heads up in this area, and this is all due east of Dalewood. Now we got heavy rain now moving into that area there. As we find out, I had somebody post that Porterville is now without power. Thundering in Tumsuba. Let me check this. Let me pull this up and go back up here and do a refresh and see what I've got on power outages. Glancing across here. We got a lot of folks. Let me pull this up from EMEPA. And as we've seen all this wind, this is where this is coming from. Let's hit this button right here. Let me do this. I don't know where my hired help went. They were supposed to be here. I hadn't seen them. Y'all, they didn't show up, did they? I'm going to have to get on Madison when I see her. She was going to come help me. I don't think she was feeling well, is what she told me. As we pull this up, this is what we're looking at. And again, exactly where we were seeing all this heavy wind a while ago. Let's zoom in on this. We're showing on this eastern side here of 45, 48 people without power there. We've already got 35 people without power here, right where this wind is what I've been telling you about, that we've been watching there at Luther Ray Road. Let me say that because I'm getting tongue twisted. But that area right in there, right where that wind is, back over here at radar, and let's just show you there, right there. That's where the power is out. That tells us that this is telling the truth of how bad this wind is in this area. As you match the two, we've got power down now, and we're showing that this has 81 mile an hour shear winds. Now, with that being said, and again, I go back over this so many times because I don't want anyone to misunderstand me, of when we say shear winds, it means it is in the air. Can it come down and be on the ground? It absolutely can. I can only go by what we're seeing, and we know that now there's been some form of damage in these areas here, in Kemper County and in Lauderdale County, in these areas with the power being out. Whether it was trees that were pushed over or how bad the damage is, we don't know. But it is a lot. If you're in that area, please pass along what you're seeing, what you're doing, so everybody can kind of keep up with it. Cornbread says that the lights are flickering now there in the Giles community, just east of Scuba. Again, y'all be careful here. We still got heavy wind. Look at that. This is that area up in Kemper County that we're showing that has no power on EMEPA. It matches no power there, and it matches this area here. Now, this is kind of popped up. Let's zoom in on this. York Road. Anybody that's watching live in the York Road area, I want you to pay close attention to this. This is 58 mile an hour winds. It's not as heavy as that other, but 58 mile an hour shear winds are still strong. This is approaching York Road, and this is going to be right here at the split, if I'm reading this right, at Rutherford Road. Sometimes the later it gets, the more tongue-tied I get, and I apologize about that. York Road, Rutherford Road, we've got a lot of wind in your area. Right here is Green Valley Church and a York Cemetery. And then this right here is Center Ridge Cemetery. All of this area here, y'all be on your P's and Q's. Got bad at Highway 21 there at the Neshoba County line, Elizabeth said. Now, we're not showing any break in this wind here. And this is all, again, due north of the lake here. Here's Dalewood. This is going to be northeast of there. We're still, and this is a 1 mile wide storm. Look at that. That's 1 mile right in there, that circle there. The circle looks not as big on radar. Oh, look who showed up. You're sick, aren't you? I'm going to let you have the night off. I'll just keep right on going. You don't look like you feel good. You going to be okay? Yeah, I can talk. I think you're just a little too sick. Why don't you go on back down, Madison? I got this.
I'll look and see if I see a video.
Bless your heart. She's stumbling around. As we look at this, all right, heads up, we got something new that had just come up on radar. This area here, it's come and gone, which meant that we're starting to see this. Let's look at this. This is going to be due south. This is 58 mile an hour shear winds. Here's the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. Let's follow this out here. All right, here's First Baptist Church of Lauderdale as we go south of there. This is going to be Lauderdale-Tumsuba Road. Now let's find an intersection of where this is the best way to describe that. All right, this is Lake Flora Drive. If I'm reading that right, it's going to be just to the northwest of there. Through the pine trees, that's not very far at all. And again, that's 58 mile an hour shear winds. We could see more power outages with this. Be careful in this area. Again, I urge you. We got a new one. Hang on here. Let's see what just happened here.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right. Kemper, Lauderdale, this is going to be extended for Lauderdale County. This is taking in more of Lauderdale County is what this is doing. Let me pull this back up where everybody can see. All right, let's pull this up where you can see again. Let's back out here. I'm going to do a reboot, and so we can see what all this new storm has done. Let me refresh this, and again, this will go black for just a second as it gets the latest information that we have. All right. Here's what we have. I sent Miss Madison on her way. She wasn't doing well. Hope she gets to feeling better there. All right, let's turn this on where we can see here. Through 10 o'clock is what we've got showing here on this severe thunderstorm warning. All right, let me go back and check one more. This is all going to be south of there. 9:30. I want to make sure I'm not missing something here until 10 o'clock. There's a lot happening in this little area right here. Again, north of Tumsuba, we want y'all to have a heads up. We got two different areas there we want to watch very carefully. Let me look at one more thing, then we're coming back to radar. We're just trying to stay on top of everything that happens. Again, this is live. There's no other way to do this other than back and forth, and I apologize for the inconvenience as I go back and forth and follow this stuff. Severe thunderstorm watch for Sharkey, Sunflower counties. Severe thunderstorm watch. All right, what we've got now, Clark County has been added as we look at this. Here we go down in here. Let me refresh this. I want to make sure I'm right on that. I read that right. That's going to have to be Clark County, Alabama is what that was talking about. Let me go back here and two things aren't adding up, and I want to make sure that I'm right. And I have not gotten all of that correctly. That's thunderstorm watch. I was reading that wrong. Thunderstorm watch is what that was. I knew something didn't add up there till 1 a.m. A severe thunderstorm watch has been added for Clark, Covington Forest, Jasper County, Jones County, Lamar, and Smith County. That's due south of. That's what tells us what we were talking about earlier this afternoon. It seems like afternoon, but earlier as we were looking at all this. And let's pull back up radar. I got my ducks in a row now as we pull up radar and show you this. So this pink area has been added to this severe thunderstorm watch. they've extended it to 1 a.m. All right, Sumter County multi-vehicle pileup on 2059. Do you know how close that is, Lynn? If you could pass along some more information. And I don't doubt that a bit as we see this. Dalewood losing power now. We've got serious storms going on. But we've added all this to 1 a.m. This is a very slow-moving storm as it makes its way across here. Now, let me do this, and let's pull up, and let's do an update on EMEPA here and see what we've got showing with the very latest there. Huge power outage now as we look at this. We have now 800 people without power here from Dalewood all around Lauderdale. So we're watching this. This is doing some very serious damage. All right, 723 there as we look at the list. The county, Lauderdale County has 674, 106 in Kemper County. So the more we watch this, we realize that this is a dangerous storm that we've got. We've got numerous power outages. And let's go back in here to Lauderdale County. And again, if you're watching this, I do want you to share this. If you have not shared this with anybody before, this is your first time, do this, because there are people that don't know that possibly we cover the weather, that we do this street by street to make sure that you're safe. Let's zoom in on here. We got a lot going on. This is just going to be due east of Highway 45. And again, these towns and roads that I bring up, I do this for your safety, to know that it's close to you. We want you to be extremely safe. If you have trees around you, take shelter away from those areas. We don't want you harmed. All right, let's go up this. This is Northeast High School is where this is. This road runs out. This is going to be Cotton Gin Road here. Let's go directly across the road here. This is Russell Tompton Road. This right here is going to be Ken Davis Road. It's due south of there. Right in here is where we're getting a lot of wind here. This is going to be Galilee Church right in that area. And we're clocking in at 69 mile an hour shear winds. Here's Highway 45. This would be right across from where the old cotton gin is. You know, that road. This is going to be Russell Tompton Road. A lot of wind coming through there. So it means that most likely we're going to have some more power outages as this comes down. Mile marker, we're getting jumping subjects as we see that major wreck there on I-20 at mile marker 15 and 16 there on I-20. So if you're traveling, you're watching me, you've got to go to Livingston, you might ought to hold off a little while and wait in Meridian somewhere. Go in a store, wait this out. There's a lot of department stores you could go in, waste some time. It's just best not to travel in this stuff. Now let's go back up here. This is what has taken out this power up here. Let's look at this. That's clocking in at 58 miles an hour is what we've got here. And this is just south of Dalewood now. The worst of this is it's come across here and taken out all this power. This storm is expected to be near Tumsuba. Anybody watching from the Tumsuba area? 13 minutes, the storm will be there. Alamooch, you'll have this out in 26 minutes. It will be on you. Minnebucket Road, as Sharon tells us now, without power. Lights are flashing on Knox Road. That's going to be out in the Russell area, as Sherry points that out. We got something else happening. Let me find out what just happened here and make sure I read this correctly. As we get into this, severe thunderstorm warning for Clark County. This is a warning now. Jasper and Lauderdale, Newton County. Let's go back over to radar here and back out and pull this out. We're going to do a refresh here as we look at this. And just like that, Clark, all of these areas now have been added to this severe thunderstorm warning. As you see this, let's turn off these locations where you can see it a little bit better. This will drop down from Pachuta and cut across just south, probably right there at DeSoto, taking in Clark County, taking in this eastern side of Jasper County, and right up to the city limits of Newton, Decatur, all through there. This severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect until 10:15. And I don't doubt that some of these can't be stretched longer than that. Our concern that we're watching right now is all of this area right here that is north of Marion, north of Tumsuba. Tumsuba, you're in the line of this. This is going to be coming directly through your back door as this storm moves due south and is headed in your direction. We want y'all to be safe in these areas. Again, I brought this up to where you're probably tired of hearing it, but do not stay in a room that's got a tree overhanging it. Morgan tells us that there's no power in Lauderdale whatsoever now. This has matched the radar with what's happening with the power company as things go out. If you're here east of Highway 45, due south of Lauderdale, Mississippi, be prepared for the weather that is coming in your direction. We look at this and see what we've got here. Let's see, we're 58 mile an hour shear winds, and we're clocking at 70 mile an hour shear winds on this storm here as it comes across. All right, let's, I want to do another update on this as all of this has been happening. We want to make sure that we keep it as fresh as we can with everything that is happening. That's a lot of alerts there. We'll turn those off where we can see. All right, let's turn on our locations and dive back into this. Clark County texting, letting us know that they've got a severe thunderstorm warning also as we look at that. I'll make sure that there's nothing else with it. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. All right. Okay, we got another shear wind factor coming in. Lauderdale. Matthew says power's out, Lauderdale, Tomb Super Road, Minnebucket Road. Blown transformers, where that is. Thanks for letting us know where that is. They'll be getting there as quickly as they can. Right here, we got 58 mile an hour shear winds. Here's the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. And this is going to be in between the two splits. This is kind of off into the what you would call the Pine Tree area in between the two roads of York Road and Oxford Road. We got a lot of wind out in here. Now, we do have this approaching. And this is one of those that is just not named. It just does not have a name on it. I can't find it if it does, and I probably should know that road. That's a road that stretches those two roads together. It's right on top of there with 58 mile an hour shear winds. As we move down, again, this is going to be due east of downtown Lauderdale and to the northeast of where Dalewood is. Now, we see here that we've gotten a lot of hail on this south end of Dalewood. Look at that. All this purple area is hail that has come down. Tons of lightning as we've been predicting through this. As you zoom in closer, you'll see that. 9:16, that was 4 minutes ago. Lightning strike there is popping left and right through these areas here. Now, this storm will be at Tomb Super in 12 minutes. Alamooch, you'll get it in 23 minutes. Let's move south here and watch what we've got going on. All of that, look at that lightning. As we back out, we are showing that some of this wind has let up south of that. That is good news. We can't be thankful enough for that. Now, as we go back up here, we're still showing this this heavy wind up in this area here, there, and that's what's knocked out our power. It's continuing to do so. And I had a question about Newton. Before the night is over, yes, y'all are going to have some very serious rain and wind come through Newton County as well. Anywhere from now through 1 a.m., expect the power to be that way. Crystal letting us know that power's out on Highway 496, Rivers Road in that area there. Cracking thunder and lightning in Wahalik. Thank you, Mandy. Appreciate you letting us know on that. Let me go back up here. Hail near Buffalo Stop. That's on 210 in Neshoba County. Getting rough on Highway 19 South, 496. And again, if you've received any damage, you're able to send that in to us. Please send that on to us there to let us know what's going on. I got a text here in Kemper County, just east of Scuba there at Giles, over 2 inches of rain has fallen there and a lot of lightning. And as you'll see there, right there is where that area is, right there. And it's not letting up any at all. We have tons of rain coming down here in Neshoba County. We've had a lot of hail cross over the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. Still raining there. East of there, it's a little bit worse. No major storms like we've got in the Lauderdale area. It's just going to be heavy rain that comes down there across the Neshoba County Fairgrounds through House, all of this area here at Neshoba Baptist. Look at the rain that we've got there. All right, we've got that. Let's move back in here. As we look at Marion, Mississippi, we got some areas now that are starting to get rain that did not have it before. Becky says the fairgrounds are getting lots of rain, had a round of hail at one time. Continuous thunder and lightning there. And that's what we saw. That's what that purple is showing there on the map. Thank you for backing that up. High winds and rain in downtown Meridian as we see that now. As radar is taking that update, all this area out to right there, out to Highland Park. We got some rain all up by Meridian High School. And this goes up to Northwest Baptist Church. Now, we got another cell right out here that's pretty strong at the Meehan Volunteer Fire Department. It's pouring rain. But the further east that we go, and our guys and gals from the four-way stop, they're starting at Lamar School. You get to the four-way stop there. It's going to be downright heavy as we go up Highway 45. And again, this is going to be out here, Red Baron Lane there, the subdivision. Cotton Gin, I think is the name of that subdivision. Rainbow Lakes, we got a lot of rain coming down there also. Russell Christian Academy. But just north of y'all, now you see this now, this is Russell, just north of there at Rainbow Lakes is where it gets heavy. And then further north of you, it's even worse. All out here at the Industrial Park in Marion, pouring as you make your way there to Lockheed, almost to where you can't see. And if you can wait these storms out and you don't have to travel right now, wait. It's not worth risking your life. As we found out a few moments ago, that horrible wreck that has occurred in Alabama. Power is going in and out on Knox Road, Rachel says. Rain's picking up in South Sumter, Mary says there. Sumter County getting up there. I'm up in North Indiana, Sean. How are you doing there? All right, I'm looking back over here of Kewanee. The lights are flickering a lot. Trying to catch as many of this all power out at Dalewood. And let's go back and look at this. We hadn't looked at that in the last few seconds. Let me pull this up from our outages here and refresh this from EMEPA to see what we've got. Over 2,000 people. This has been a very, very serious storm as we've watched this move across the county. Here we go. Let's zoom in on this. And this is where we've gotten all this wind. We got 1,400 people here. And again, all this area, that substation, anywhere that you see red on this map without power. Let's look at the list here of what we've got. Kemper County has 563 people. Lauderdale County has over 1,500 people without power right now. Power's out in Russell, and we're seeing this. This storm has been very hectic as it's made its way through Lauderdale County, hasn't it? And you can bet your bottom dollar as we watch this get near us over near Livingston, Alabama, they're suffering some of the same issues that we've had here in Lauderdale County. Now, let's go back up and look at this into Lauderdale County. The good news that I can tell you is that we don't have the sheer winds that we've been watching for the last, half an hour or so? That's kind of backed off. And if y'all heard that little bark, that's my new little friend that we've got named Ellie that has joined our edition. Ellie likes to take over everything. We do have two storm systems that are in the eastern side of Lauderdale County to the southeast of Lauderdale, just east of Dalewood, moving due south. Let's look at this. Kewanee, you're going to have the storm within 10 minutes. Alamooch, you'll have it in 20. We go to this one that's kind of riding the line right there. It's going to be at Kewanee in 11 minutes, almost the same path. If you'll see that, we got a second storm right here at Cuba, Alabama, that's following the state line. All right, as we look at this, Tumsuba, you've got a storm that will be on top of you within 4 minutes. As we do the rating on this stuff, of a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 2.8, this storm here. And as you'll see here, as we go out to Wynot Motorsports Park, Rodney, y'all be prepared. This is going to be coming directly toward y'all within, say 20, 25 minutes. It will make its way there to Wynot. So our friends in Wynot, y'all be prepared for this as we look at this. This has been the worst part of this storm on the eastern side of Lauderdale County. Now, let's get into downtown Meridian. If you're out and about tonight, we want you to be careful. Look at I-20. It is covered in rain. It is rough as we look at this. We look at MCC. We got heavy rain. The further you go down 8th Street, the worse this is going to get. It is some kind of rain coming down in those areas there. On up to Meridian High School, across to Sam's on top of the hill. We got light showers there here at the Coliseum as we look at this. But due north of there, the intersection there, 20, boy, it's bad. Rainbow Lakes, bad. It's bad, heavy, heavy rain there. Dylan Ray, how are you doing tonight? I see that you've joined us here. He's over there somewhere. Hi there, hi there.
Hey, am I coming in?
You're coming in loud and clear there.
Sounds good, yeah. Just walked over. It was probably averaging about 2 to 6 lightning strikes a minute. You know, well, not on the ground, but in the air.
Made you get your step up a little faster.
Yeah, I walked a little bit faster to get over here. It is rough out tonight. There's no doubt about that.
As you're just joining me, we've got over 2,000 people without power. Is what we've got.
Oh, man.
The most affected is going to be this area right through here, Dylan, from Kemper County. We started getting the worst I've ever seen on radar that we've had of sheer winds of 115 miles an hour right through here, and it made its way into Lauderdale County, and it dropped down to about 80, and then it dropped down to 58, 60, somewhere around in there, and it has caused all of this damage on that eastern side of the county. We've paid close attention to this. We hope that everybody is okay, that you're staying safe in these areas there. And thank you for joining us. Again, if you're just tuning in, share this with somebody so that they'll know what the weather is doing tonight as we track this closely to let you know.
We got a comment saying there's wind and lightning pickup at Martin. We have a question from Joan asking how is it in Stratton and Union?
As we look at Union, right here is Union. There, you see this Dollar General there. Just to the west of you, you got some heavy showers. So it's not over for Union. You're going to get another round here in just a moment as we see this approaching you. This up here, right there north of Union there at Neshoba Baptist. A lot of rain there. It's going to make its way there. We're showing hail as we've gotten so many comments about the hail coming through the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. All right, let's back out here where everybody can see. Even up to Edinburgh, we're showing showers. All right. As we've seen this, and I want to grab this. I want to talk about this a second. This is a little due east of Meridian. Let's go over toward Pennington, Alabama. Right here is going to be the Cromwell Volunteer Fire Department, due east of you and north of Pennington, Alabama. Over here by the paper mill, we're showing that we're starting to show 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with this storm. This is Highway 17, due east of you, and this is just about sitting on top of Pine Grove Road, north of Pennington, Alabama. Heads up in that community, you're most likely going to lose some power. This has been some damaging wind that has come through with this storm in that area there also. Still showing pouring rain in Livingston, Alabama. And look at this. Let me back this off where you can see the big picture of this. Look how heavy this rain is in Lauderdale County now. Whew. Sebastopol getting tons and tons of lightning there, they're telling us, Dylan.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We got a lot of people in chat saying wind is picking up on Highway 19 South. They're asking, how much do they need to worry about the wind? Is there any chance of this turning into a tornado anytime soon? Any idea of wind damage that they can expect?
Wind damage, yes. We're not seeing this turn to develop into anything more than a severe thunderstorm warning. And as the National Weather Service told us early on with this, we would see gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour. And we have seen that in areas where the shear part of that has been double that. The actual wind on the ground, to my knowledge, has not been clocked by anybody other than what we've seen here on radar in the different places. And pretty serious stuff that we've seen. We watch this. All right, let's do this. I hadn't done this in the last 20, 30 minutes. Let's go to here to severe and turn on our winds, damaging winds here. Now, what this is going to do when we click this button is turn green in the areas that has serious damaging winds. And for some reason, that didn't work there. There she goes. The old girl had to think about it a second. That's what we've got right now with sheer winds. Look at that. All this area here, all around in here, we got a bunch of this. Sheer winds galore tonight. Not sheer winds, but this is damaging winds is what this is what radar, and that's pretty serious there as well as we watch that sheer wind of 58 miles an hour near Pennington, Alabama. But if you see this in this dark green stretching all the way from Macon, Mississippi, right down Highway 45 into Meridian, we've got a bunch of winds with that as we watch it closely there. Let me turn off that damaging wind there. And that puts the radar back on where you can see what matches this. Now, for the first time, we're starting to hear the heavy rain move into where we're at here as well. All right, let's move up and take a look here. Let me turn some locations back on.
And what he meant by that was that I walked over to the studio, dry as can be, and you can hear the wind and rain starting to pound where we are out in the county.
Yeah, it has picked up, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it's coming through all the insulation. You can hear it hollering out there.
Yeah, it has as we go back and forth looking at all of this. Let's look here for what I've got going on. The eastern side of this, out by the Coca-Cola plant, all through here up Highway 45 through Marion. It is some of the worst rain that we've seen in our area in quite some time. All the way out 80, look at this. Right out to here. This will take you out to Tom Bailey Lake. Pouring rain on you folks. Be careful there. As we watch this come across here to Tom Bailey Lake. And again, most of what we've had is above here. Look at all of this here around Dalewood where we've got this. Now, west of Northeast High School, still not being affected by this. It's mainly this eastern side of the county that we've got here. Now, as we go back into Kemper County, not looking good for y'all right now either, is it? Y'all know it. This is bad from York, Alabama, all the way across. This has turned out to be one of the big storms that we've had quite a while here. As we go up to Damascus, it's heavy rain, but as you get over on 495, 493 there, going up by the coal plant, it's even going to be worse in that area. Look at that, right there at the coal plant in Kemper County. Now, as you get over here to Blackwater, it'll lighten up for a moment. It's going to come back. We have another storm cutting across. It will be at Kemper Springs within 17 minutes. Pouring rain at the Cowboy Church as we look at this. Highway 45 all up here at the Chicken Shack. It's heavy rain there. And as we got reports up in here, 2 to 3 inches of rain has fell. That's a lot. Now, as we get back over here at the fairgrounds, we still got a lot of rain in there. And let me turn this back up. So I can see a power outage in Dalewood. We're getting those comments. All right, Cindy Hatcher, how do I send videos to y'all? You can send it several ways. You can inbox it on Facebook, or you can send us a video at Scotty Ray, that's Scotty with a Y, Ray with a Y, 1969 at AOL. Either one of those places will get it to me, AOL.com, and then we'll get those loaded up and thrown on the internet there at some point there as quickly as we can. We'd love to see your video. Jenny, how are you doing? Glad to see you there. Watching from Stonewall, Teresa joins us. Dana Lawson, raining hard. Lights are blinking in Kewanee. I wish I had better news for y'all on that. Let's go back as we look at this. And again, let's do another look here. Let me pull this up here and pull this up and see what we've got in power outages. Make sure I hadn't gotten anything new. And I do this because it blinks the screen so many times when we do a hard blink. All right, we're up to more. We're up to nearly 2,600 people without power. Let's pull this up and show you what we've got going on. Right through here. We can pull this back out. Kemper County, there's 500 without power. This is exactly where this storm came down through with all that sheer wind. We get to Lauderdale, and this is where that line is roughly 2,100 people. As we look at that, all of that area, 1,900 right there. As we look at that, Butts Road, big hit right there in Butts Road there. That's probably going to be a transformer, 171 out in Tumsuba. It's a bunch of folks without power. EMEPA would be getting this back on as quickly as they can. And let me just see if I've gotten any updates on anything so far on all of this. And again, I say this and I repeat myself with this being live, there's going to be pauses as I look back and forth, and I apologize about that, but that's the best that we can do in these situations when it hits hard like this, of double checking our messages and trying to make sure that we're getting the most accurate information out to everybody. Dylan Ray, anything new on your side that you've uncovered?
Frederick Calvert says that the rain's coming hard down in Porterville. He's looking outside and he's seen that there's a creek filling with water. We got Teresa Blank saying that there is power out in Toom Suba. Amanda Brown says that the electricity is blinking where she is, which is seems to be a common occurrence with most people here in the chat. James Carter saying that it's sprinkling in Causeyville, lots of thunder, lots of lightning. House community has no power. Power blinking on Ash Avenue in Meridian. I want to thank everybody for chiming in with updates on how the weather is where they're going.
Yeah, and it has been. That's a lot of power as I go back and double check this again. And the county list breaks down to 563 at this point in Kemper County. Lauderdale has 2014 is what we're seeing there as we follow this storm and follow it all along. All right, let's go back here. And let me get back to radar. And there, almost got it. Almost got the radar there. All right, here's our radar system, what we're looking at tonight. I've been trying to set my phone up to grab another issue there so we could do more. All right, that should be connected there. All right, let's pull this up where we can all see together. We got a storm. Northern Lauderdale County. Let's look at this. This is going to be at Tompton within 11 minutes. It's going to be at Marion with 18 minutes, moving through Russell within 21 minutes, and reach Bonita, that area there, within 26 minutes. It'll be there by 10:03 is when it will reach there. And if you'll see that, this storm here, right through there is where that's headed. A lot of rain. It is some of the worst that we've witnessed in a while. But the good news out of all this is we're not seeing that wind like we did before that done all this damage back through here. Thank heavens. This is pouring there. Sitting on the porch at Outback, and it's coming a flood. I bet it is. Power out in North Hills by the old bowling alley. That would put it right down near where the Northcrest Baptist Church is what that would be. Let's see what else. Let me send a text and see if we can get EMEPA to talk with us to let us kind of know what is going on.
Yeah, we got I think 2 questions in the chat. One asking about the Alamucha area. Let me check. I just saw the other one.
Alamucha, as we
Alamucha,
see here.
Why not? Yeah, why not in Alamucha?
Yeah, it is a dump in the rain is what we see out there. All right, I just got a message from Union. Let me get this pulled up here. 2 trees are blocking the road between Union and House on Highway 492. So if you're in that area there in the House community, again, this is going to be between Union and House on Highway 492. We have a power, 2 trees down on the road there. So good to know that. As we follow all of this. So, and if you encounter you've got trees down where you are, please let us know so we can pass this along. So we're getting a word there that power back on the 40th side there. All right, let's see. I'm going to check in and see if we have anything. Again, as I do this, what I'm doing, I'm trying to check with all the different agencies around town and get their remarks of what's happening where they are. All right.
Extremely bad lightning, Highway 19 South across from Dollar General. So they just started pouring. That's coming from Crystal, who has been keeping us updated towards that side of town.
All right. EMEPA, and let me call this, are going to join us live. And we're going to call them and then have them join us and give us an idea. Julie, thanks for joining us.
Now, but please leave your name, number, and a brief message.
Oop, I got her message for some reason. We'll try calling her back. It jumped to her voicemail. Hey, Julie, how are you doing?
Hi, Scotty Ray. I'm good. How are you?
Good. What can you tell us about the power damage? It looks like eastern Lauderdale County has been hit pretty hard.
Yes, it's looking like we have a good bit of outages all across the eastern portion of our service territory. Primarily, it is Lauderdale County, but we do have about 500 or so out in Kemper County as well.
Now,
It's more, crews are being dispatched as they can work safely to locate damage. With the storms coming through, we expect to find some trees, some limbs down on the lines. So that's primarily going to be the cause of most of the outages. But the crews are just working to locate any damage and get that power restored as quickly as possible.
now at this point, have your crews been able to even get out at this point? Or are they having to wait for the storms to kind of subside before they hit the roads?
That's right. We do have some that have been dispatched. I can see on the map now that we do have some that are headed out to some of those areas, but we do have to keep safety, of the utmost importance. And so as long as it's the weather's coming through that makes it unsafe for them to work, then they will have to stand down.
Are we seeing that it is major? Like if does this like subdivision or substations? Is that what we're seeing that might be hit, or do you think this is more along the lines we got to trace this down and find it?
In the Kewanee area, it is the whole. It is we've got about 2,100 out from that substation, so that is a bulk of that substation. We do have a few out in the Bonita area, but that looks like it's, we only have 23 that are served from that substation that are out. But the Scuba area as well, they have about 509 outages there, and all of those are out of our Scuba substation. So really the hardest hit is the Kewanee area.
And I've got that map pulled up here now as we look at that, and it's a lot of red stretching from Lauderdale due south, even into, as you pointed out, into Kemper County there.
That's right. And the Scuba area is the portions of Kemper County where we're seeing the most outages.
All right, and again, a lot of that area is rural and these roads that y'all have to track down and dealing with the storm. I can't thank you enough for joining us and giving us an update of what we've got going on.
Yes, absolutely. And our crews will work through the night as necessary to make sure we get power restored to all of our members.
Now, and I've got the map pulled up, and if you can explain how to use this for the folks that may have never even was aware of it, because there is a lot of folks that don't realize how much online that you can look at now.
That's right. Yeah, you can pull up our website at enmpa.com and click current outages, where you can view the outages there. You can also do it on our smartphone app if you have that downloaded as well. But you can zoom in and you can see what areas are experiencing outages and how many within that area are out.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I'll buzz you back if we get some more information, and hopefully all this is calming down just a little bit is what we hope.
That's right. Thank you, Scotty Ray. We appreciate you getting the information out there.
All right. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Julie.
All right. Thanks, Scotty Ray. Bye-bye. Again,
Julie with EMEPA, she joins us there to give us an update as to what's going on. The only other places that we have with trees down at this point would be in between Union and House, Highway 492. Now, is there most likely other areas that have trees down? Yes, there is. We just don't know about them yet. Now, as we go back to radar, let's pull this up to where we can see a little bit better here. And we are showing that we've got a bunch of rain still pouring across it. And this is not going to end in the next 20 to 30 minutes. It's going to be a while. The good news is we look at, let's turn this on where we can see this a little bit better. We only now for Neshoba County have a severe thunderstorm watch. That's better, isn't it? We move over to Kemper County, and that warning also has been canceled, and only a watch remaining for the county at this point, and that watch will remain in effect till 11 o'clock. So what we're focusing on is going to be Newton, Lauderdale, and Clark counties on the Alabama side. All of this area, including Lisbon, Alabama, Butler, y'all have got some serious rain ahead of you. South of Pennington, look at that, 58 mile an hour shear winds. Again, that does not match what went on up here in Kemper County. But still, if you're in that area, pretty serious storms that are making its way across the area as well. There's a lot of you that are sitting and watching right now that are in the dark. And Dylan, you've been in those situations before yourself.
Absolutely.
We understand. You'd like to know how soon as it's coming back. As the good news about it looks like when they get to the Kewanee and are able to get that back up, that will turn on quite a few people quick. 1,800 people with a switch there. Kemper County could be a little bit longer because it's on. There's no other way to word it other than the rural route. And it's going to be a lot of damage up through there with these trees that have popped down and hit different things. So we'll watch it, keep you updated with the very latest of that we can.
Absolutely. We currently have over 500 people tuning in. We understand that there's a lot of scary sights out there right now, and we appreciate y'all being out here. We're keeping an eye out for you, and
Pamela wanted to know, did we report a tree down on Minnebucket Road? I have not gotten that. It very well could be, but no, I have not gotten that. Elizabeth wanted to know, Neshoba County, yes, the severe thunderstorm warning has ended for Neshoba County. That threat is gone. But as we get this out, if you'll look here, this is just right here. It's still heavy rain, but no warning. So you're going to have downpours is what you're going to have. Hickory, all these areas here. Look at here what y'all got going on. As we zoom on here, out here right there where the red goat is. Y'all got a lot of rain coming in at the Red Goat down to Hickory, those areas there. Pretty much from the Red Goat back to downtown Meridian on the other side, on into Alabama. It's going to be if you're traveling that, it's going to be a long haul. And as we know that there's a wreck now at exit mile marker 1516 on the edge of Alabama, multiple cars involved in a wreck. Mm-hmm. Be careful in that. Now, we just had another storm. Let's look at this that popped up just north of Meehan. Let's look at this. This is going to be at Meehan within 6 minutes. For all you folks that are watching in the Meehan community, be on your P's and Q's. This will be there. This will move from Meehan to Savoy. It'll take 29 minutes to reach Savoy. So that tells us it's not moving real fast. Let's zoom in on this, Dylan, and show them a little bit more. If you're familiar with the area there, here's Lazy Acres Christmas Tree Farm. As you come back into Lauderdale County, look at the lightning right here in southern Newton County, all right around there at the Chunky Post Office. As you follow 80 into Lauderdale County, even right up here, struck right beside the Meehan Volunteer Fire Department. As we look at that, when was that strike? It's acting weird. Let me turn that off.
While you're working on that, I did want to point out that we had an inbox saying that there was a tree across the road between House and Union. 492 between House and Union. There is a tree across the road about a mile from Highway 19.
Ooh, yeah.
So please stay careful.
Absolutely. And again, we want you, if you've got damage or if you know of a tree down, you've got family, anything like that we can share with others, please let us know so we can share that.
Yeah, we currently have several images, several videos that are on our main page. If you guys want to take a look, absolutely.
Right. All right. Let's look at this as we move on into that was 9:40 is when that lightning struck. It is 9:51, but right there, roughly 11 minutes ago, was a lightning strike just barely a few feet away from the volunteer fire department there. That'll raise the hair on the back of your neck, as they say, as those lightning strikes hit. Now, as we come on into Meridian, all out by the jail, we've got that. All right, here's something we don't like to see. Watch, this area is coming and going. It's not staying, so it's telling us that the wind's picking up and it died back off, but we had a little bit of a swirl right there in that area just a second ago. That was going to be west of 59. All right, here it is. Its radar's picking it back up now. Let's zoom in on this and find out what we've got going on in this area here. This is 58 mile an hour shear winds, and with each time that we've picked this up on radar, we've had some form of power outage or limbs breaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the big picture, and then we're going to zoom in on this. As we look at the county, this is showing the heaviest of wind that we've got right now. Here's Lost Gap. This is the jail that we've got. Here's the airport. Let's go to due south of there and come on down into here. This is going to be on top of, let's get a understanding of what we got. This is going to be on Paulding Road is where this is. Just east of this. This is less than a half a mile off of there. Due west of 59, as we see, here's O'Neill Lake right there. You see this, all this rain that's coming down with this? And that is your shear wind. Again, out of a scale of 1 to 10, they're rating this thunderstorm at a 2.8. But yet, it still has these shear winds that can knock power out. So if you're anywhere on this road, from 59 and the next road that it would be affecting, let's zoom in on this. Here's Paulding Road, and this is a no-named road. It doesn't give me an actual. This could be a driveway as it cuts across underneath here. It dead ends. We get on down the next intersection is going to be there at Burridge Road. So from Burridge Road back up that first right road, that's going to be affecting that. That's O'Neill Lake and that area there, due south of there. Here's Golden Grove Church. And again, that's our wind that we're watching there. So if you live anywhere on this road here, Paulding Road, y'all be prepared. Again, I urge you to stay away from anything that has limbs that could fall on you. We don't want that to happen. We look at Meridian Airport. It is pouring rain there. We come over here to Plant Sweat. Look at that. This is going to be out here as you take this shortcut from here all the way up Valley Road as the back way into the Clarkdale community, so to speak, as they do that.
We got word from Susan Ross saying that Daleville is still rumbling, but they have power again, and rain is lightening up a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We had a question about Collinsville. I do want to ask if you want to zoom out for a minute and see the general direction, because we have a couple people from Alabama checking in. It just might be a good idea to get the general feel for where this storm is going.
Yeah, this is what we've got. This storm is moving this direction due south is what we've got here. As we put this in motion of what it's been doing here, if you'll watch this come out of the Birmingham area, see how that drifted down? And it is moving to the south. So if you are south of Meridian, be ready. You're going to get more of this. Now, y'all are seeing what I'm seeing as we get that radar update of what's going on in Alabama. We've got to address that. But that is the way the storm is going. And it is, because I do get to, and I'm glad you pointed that out, I get to zooming in and I'll get on a certain area and back out and not show the whole big picture of what we've got.
Mm-hmm. So that should give everybody an indication that on the far side, on the right, we're having this clockwise turn of the storm and the effect that has on different parts of these two states.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at this, Dylan, because this is the same type what we saw here. We're watching this shear wind still here in Lauderdale County at 58 miles an hour. We want to watch that. Right here at Lisbon, Butler, Alabama, y'all heads up in this area there. We got 68 mile an hour shear winds just north of you, and due east of you, we have another one with 58. We have one just due east of there at 58 miles an hour, and another storm that is over here that is 58. So we've got a line, and what we want to warn you on this is making its way right on this direction here. So Clark County, Wayne County will be affected by this. Gilberttown, Alabama, y'all have got a few minutes before it reaches y'all, but y'all are going to be affected by this also. This is dangerous stuff here. It's taking out power as it goes along. Now, many wrecks have happened, and a lot of things we're probably not getting, we don't have the latest information on where wrecks have happened and where trees might be down. And most of everybody that is watching us at this point are at home, thank goodness, and not out in this. We'll get more reports as this lightens up and as emergency officials get out and are able to examine what they've got. Highway Village Apartments, Amanda says power is out. Bless y'all. I hope it's okay out there. Y'all be careful there at Highway Village there. Beverly says she's turning her AC off for a bit. You are brave, girl. She don't want to burn it up. I get that. I wouldn't want to lose my air conditioning either. This was one of our hottest days. I did see that the heat index got to 110 at one point today. That's a lot. Now let's look at our locations again, Dylan, and pull this back up.
Absolutely.
All right, and I know when it does like that, you have to zoom in to find your exact roads of what we're looking for, because I've got so many places marked, because it's important to know where you are. We are showing that possibly that wind is lightening up a little bit there in that southwest corner of Lauderdale County. Savoy, you're going to have a storm within 18 minutes. Now, right here, right there is Goodwater Baptist Church. This is going to be just to the east of y'all when it comes through there. As you'll look at this gray area, Dunn's Fall, you're going to be in this. It's going to barely miss Stuckey's Bridge. It'll be just east of there and then cut right across here, and it will affect parts of Valley Road and then make its way toward Clarkdale. There's going to be Mathis Peaches in this area here. But we are showing finally that we are losing that wind that had popped up here. But most of Lauderdale County is still getting hammered right now. West Lauderdale High School starting to get a break. Still heavy rain at West Lauderdale Elementary. And the further north we go, all the way up to the Samdale Monument, buckets of rain. Even over at NAS Meridian, still showers, not as heavy, but I think you've got another round coming in from Kemper County there at Lauderdale as we go across Dalewood. And we pick up the intensity right here around northeast, anywhere from there to 45 back over to northeast, even over here by the elementary school where the soccer complex is. Pouring rain as we come through Marion. We get here to Northcrest Baptist Church. Here's the country store out by Owls, all the Rock House, and we move up here by the back porch. Back porch Meridian. Y'all are getting a lot of this rain there. Mm-hmm. And we come on into Meridian there past 19 there at Walmart. Got rain there. We move on past Highland Park, MCC. Look at that. Even over here at the Children's Museum and Joe's at SMI, pouring there. On top of the hill there at Walmart at Bonita, not getting a break there either. All the way up there. And if you say you're shopping now at Walmart or maybe you're at Lowe's, I'm not sure what time. I don't know what time they close anymore. Have they changed, Dylan? Didn't they get rid of the 24-hour thing?
They did get rid of it. I believe they close at 11 now. So, if I'm not mistaken. I know that's the way in Starkville for sure, but
right, and it's probably close to the same hours.
Yeah.
So you can waste another hour, at least at Walmart, without getting wet. If you want to walk around, it generally takes that long to find something, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. No, but if I were to shill for the Walmart app.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did show me that.
Yeah, I learned that recently.
I didn't know you could do that, and it'll tell you what aisle something is on.
That's right.
Lowe's, I think, closes a little bit sooner than that. But we're just covered in showers throughout this. Now, let's look at this again. We've got this severe thunderstorm warning that's going to last until 10:15 for Lauderdale County, and we've also got this for Clark County until 10:15, which gives us 15 more minutes on this. And this tells us that maybe we're getting a break. Let me check something else here and see what the National Weather Service has sent to us and told us, see if there's anything new on this. The last update was 10 minutes ago saying that they had clocked some wind at 60 miles an hour throughout Lauderdale and Clark, even some areas of Newton there. As I glance back up here, I haven't gotten any reports. Usually somebody throughout the state will let you know that there's been damage somewhere. I haven't seen any of that so far. Again, this storm will come up hot and heavy, and the majority of it has been right on this state line with Lauderdale County and also the edge of Alabama, Sumter County and Kemper County. By far has gotten the worst in the state of Mississippi. Still looking, I'm glancing back over this. I don't see anything that is out of the ordinary that they've passed along. Now, let me go back and check our power outages again. I want to make sure I've got the up-to-date on that, and that, for some reason, didn't take. All right, here we go. We're up to about 2,900 people without power now. Let me pull this up and show you this. And again, as the storm comes on across, it just does that. We're 509 people there in Kemper County. As you get into Lauderdale County, you're going to have roughly, it's a little shy, 2,144. That's close to 2,200 without power. And then now we're showing that we've got about 190 in Clark County without power. That's going to be right there at the Lauderdale line, just south of there, the energy area. We got any folks in that area watching us? That's a bunch. Without power, and we move back up here just south of Russell, 23. But look at that. That subdivision is taken out, 223 here, and then 1,800 people there. We get over here near Bailey, and this is, if I am not mistaken, this is going to be up by, is it Fire Station number 9, the new one that they added out at Briarwood, right there on the left at the red light. in that area there. Dogwood Lake Road, is that what I'm seeing up through here? Yeah, right there. And this would be right across here as you get to 39, and all of our folks up by the country club. This area up by the trailer park. This is going to be where, is it Country Estates? Is that the name of that trailer park there? But directly across from there is that little subdivision, Taylor's Packasack. And I know it's named something else now, but I know it is Taylor's Packasack. But directly across from there, as we look at this, we got a subdivision that is without power right there. And let me zoom in on that. That's going to be Ham Road is where that is.
And Daddy, if you want to check your main Facebook page, there's a couple videos that have been posted. You could show those off. The first one labeled Meehan shows just some heavy rain that we have down in Meehan outside of a gas station. But I think what is interesting is the image that we have of
all right, let me pull this
tree.
Up.
Yeah, if you scroll down 2 posts real quick.
Okay.
We have a tree down.
All right, let's pull that up.
Russell Mountain Gilead Road between TA Truck Stop and 1180 in Russell.
All right, yeah, we're showing that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so and that's a power line down there. Be careful in that area. And again, I don't know if you had a chance to check the email address also, Dylan.
I have not.
Check that, make sure we hadn't gotten any stuff in there. And let me go back up here. And again, this is from Meehan. This is going to be from the store out there as we pull this up to give you a glimpse of what's going on there, just how much rain. Look at those sheets of rain coming down. That's a lot of it. No power behind Clarkdale School. That gives you a glimpse of that. And again, if you've got video or anything, pass it along to us so we can share that with others and get that out there. I think we've gotten in maybe a couple other videos in here in the last little bit.
It's more than maybe. They're pouring in, and we really appreciate you guys sharing it.
Yeah.
We're happy to pass it along so that people can see what's going on around the state.
All right. As you're working on all that, let me go back over here to radar, and we're showing why not. Y'all got a lot of rain there. And a big thank you to Meridian Honda for being a part of this with us, with Meridian Honda Radar and the many different people that you see float across the screen that support our weather and help us bring this to you daily with what we do. We can't thank them enough. We do show that here at Why Not Motorsports Park. Look at that. Pouring rain there. Now, if you live over near Mathis Peaches there, we got a storm coming out of Lauderdale County that is headed directly toward that area, toward Roy. 21 minutes it will be approaching there, and then moving on to DeVoe right after that within 25 minutes of that coming across there. So, be prepared with that. That storm is rated as a 3, which means it's packing some heavy rain with it as it comes across. Now, I know there's been a lot of questions of Neshoba County, and let's start at the top, and we're going to work our way down and kind of cover what's going on. As we start at the top of the map with some of the heaviest rain we got, there at the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the McDonald's, that area there. And I think there's even a Subway up that way now, right around the hospital in Macon. All of that area down to Sugarlock, buckets of rain. And we do have some areas of rain that are still lingering in Kemper County. On the eastern side there, Giles, y'all still have it. Out to Bennsville, as we move back over here toward the western. This is going to be west of Wahalak. This is here at the Baptist Church as we go back through the dirt roads that you can take all the way into DeKalb. Those are going to be slick. It's been many a year since I traveled them, but I remember them from years ago. They're slick and you can get wet there. Highway 16 just west of Scuba. We're going to get some more showers there. And that's going to be about where the dump is before you get into DeKalb there, where the old roadside park was. Southern Kemper County, about where you get to Lauderdale, the rain's going to pick back up. Yep, you'll see that all the way around the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. We still got showers there as we got it all the way back out west. A little break starting to happen around the Samdale Monument. Still showers there happening at NAS Meridian. The further south we go from Sunshine Farms on down to Northeast High School. We still got rain all the way back west across this, crossing Highway 39, across Highway 19. Starting to get a little break just north of 494 there, above Freeman Tractor. We got a break there at the Piggly Wiggly finally. I know y'all are proud of that. As we look at Marion, still heavy, heavy rain. And southern Lauderdale County, it hasn't gotten any breaks yet. Now, as we move west of here and we come right there at the Newton County line, It's going to be heavy at Lazy Acres Christmas Tree Farm. You follow 20. Now, you be careful from Lazy Acre, basically anywhere from the Bama state line through downtown Meridian. You won't get a break until you get to Newton. It's going to go past the Red Goat, these areas here. It will pass the Veterans Cemetery there. Just past it, about 2 miles due west of where the Veterans Cemetery, you get a little break. You'll have some showers in 15 going toward Decatur. But again, this eastern side right here is what we're watching. All of this area right here for Clark County that's still, Newton County, that is still pouring rain. A little bit of lightning still occurring with this. 10:07, it is, yeah, that just struck. If you'll look at that, that's kind of spooky as to how quick this stuff can come up.
Exactly.
As we move across here, let's see here.
Yeah, so we had a question about exactly how fast these storms are moving in, and I believe that the wind vector is showing, when we zoom out, that as we go further east into Alabama, the faster it is.
Yeah, let me
going south. But
I want to do this. I want to pull up. Let me find another map that I've got.
I do think that you have that type of map that can show more precisely, because I think it depends on your location of how fast these storms are moving, because pressure is going to be different in different parts of the state. And
yes, it is. I was going to show some
for these types of storms.
I'm going to show some wind speed of what's going on with this and what we still got out there. And let me pull this up and show everybody. Well, let me go back over here.
Amanda Fulcher's saying that she's watching from the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. It's a shame for it to be raining down at the Neshoba County Fair, but we thank you for being here. All right, good illustration there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
visualization.
Actual wind here. Is what y'all see how this is doing. This is 18 mile an hour. This is steady wind. There's a difference in between gust and steady winds. All the way up to Columbus, we're showing about 7 there. But the further you get down to Meridian, we're showing about 9 downtown. But this area right out here, and this is steady. Let's zoom in on this and see exactly where this is. This is going to be at Scuba, as we'll look at that. Let's get in here to wind gusts now. We've had 38, 40 mile an hour wind gusts through that area. You see that? All the way down through here.
It's incredible.
Now let's back out and get into Lauderdale County. You'll see these hot spots here. Let's zoom in over here. Forest, 38 Morton. Newton at this point about 13 to 14. So the further west you go, the more we've got there. And that's kind of how these things are cutting up.
And that makes it difficult to tell you, if you live in, Demopolis, how fast is that storm going to pass over you? Because you have these fighting wind vectors that are pushing the storm around and all.
Yeah, as we look at this, and let's pull this up, Dylan, where we can look at this. As we move in here, this is moving across here. It has had some hail. It doesn't have a shear rate included with this. And I was seeing here, density 1.5. We're at a 2.9 on this as it comes across.
I did want to say very quickly that we have a mention that B Street is flooded in Meridian.
Whoa. All right. This particular storm here is moving at 17 miles an hour is what it's moving at. Not a fast storm by any means, but it's headed directly toward Enterprise. So the Enterprise area, y'all have another storm coming. Now, the good news on all of this is, as you'll know, this northern portion of Lauderdale County out of a severe thunderstorm warning. This is what we've got left, and it's going to be expiring here in just a few moments. It will expire at 10:15, which tells us the southern portion here of Clark County will carry on till 11 is what we've got. But Lauderdale County will be out of this by 10:15, and then this lower portion here will carry this through 11 o'clock tonight. All right. Turkey Creek, no rain at this point. As we get over near Sebastopol, Conahatta area, Sebastopol sitting right here, and we come down to Conahatta, we still got a lot of rain in there. Walnut Grove, these areas there coming out of Kosciuszko, Lena, y'all still have storms making its way. No warnings in that area, though, whatsoever. The wind has lightened up a lot. As you'll see here, look at Kemper County, how much better it's looking on this southern portion. Now, we hadn't gotten over this little spell here yet. And as I mentioned, we're going to have rain off and on till later on. And let me do something here and check another system that I wanted to go back over. Let me find where I got something hid. I'm supposed to have, and I don't know what I've done with it. You ever lost something, Dylan? Something you had bookmarked?
Oh, all the time. It's hard to pull anything back up whenever it's not in spots that you expect it to be in, for sure.
As
Stormy
I do
at Crescent Lake, heavy rain, lightning, and their animals are frightened down at Crescent Lake.
I can see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do some future radars and explain to you what I'm looking at as I pass along with this one. Meridian, right now, getting a lot of rain. As I do a forward scan to at 11 o'clock, still heavy rain at 11 a.m. across central and eastern Lauderdale County, and there'll still be showers stretching from Macon to Scuba. As we forward this, still showers at 11:30 in Meridian. As we move forward at midnight, showers will be just south of Meridian and stretching into Clark to Quitman, all the way south there. Shibuda, you'll have showers at midnight as well. Newton, you're still going to be having rain, and it's going to be pretty heavy on this. As we bump ahead and we get into 12:30, we start seeing it move out of the county out past Wyandotte. It gets past Wyandotte. Newton, at 1 a.m., you're still going to be getting showers. Philadelphia, south of there, around the Neshoba County Fair, you're going to be getting wet also. It's not going to be over there. We move southward, and we come on down to Newton at 1:15, flooding in Newton. Philadelphia, flooding. And this just passes on. It will be 3 a.m. before it moves out. Around 2:50, it will move out of Newton and then kind of out of the area. So we've got some form of rain stretching all the way till about 3 a.m. Before it's all said and done. Again, we got some warnings that haven't expired yet. We're watching them slowly go away. It is now 10:15, and let's do this and get rid of this. Okay, Lauderdale County is free now. No warnings there. Doesn't mean that it's not raining, but the warnings have expired for Lauderdale County. That's a relief for a lot of people. And that's good news. We still watch here in Jasper County, and this is what's moving down there. Now, the great news about this, what I'm going to tell you, is not as much to worry about because as we see the wind has quit. All of this area here that we had all these circles that were doing all that damage has faded away. We have some heavy rain, and we start to see that this, and let me show you the comparison. We have areas right along in here and here that are heavy rain. But if you look at this compared to Thomasville, Alabama, it's two different storms. And I've stared at these things most of my life. As you'll look at this, the intensity here is not what's happening in Thomasville, Alabama. Over here at Yellow Bluff, these areas here right there, that's a bad storm occurring around Thomasville, Alabama. Pennington, not so bad. Myrtlewood getting better. And what I'm saying is, although there is still a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark County, it's not going to be as bad. I'm not telling you that power won't blink and that possibly you may lose power, but I am telling you that the severity is not where it was. What was that, an hour and a half ago, Dylan?
Yes.
Is this the only system? Morgan says, yes. After this slowly gets out of here, let me back out and show you this. And as I mentioned a moment ago, all of this talk about, well, it's going to be raining till 2 a.m. or so. Right here, this up here is what's coming that's going to move south that will come back. You'll get a little break. But all of this rain that's here will move across. What's here at Carthage is going to come down and just stretch this out. So that's what we've got right now. Most of Kemper County right now, except for downtown Scuba there, east of there, is getting a break. Mm-hmm. Scuba's starting to see this, and you grew up there, Dylan. You remember how it was.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank goodness. I don't know why we didn't get smushed by all those pine trees around that house we owned up there. I have a respect for them now.
We got a comment saying that in Basic City there was a bad lightning rain. Basic, not Basic. Okay, Basic City lost power. I apologize.
You've heard me on the morning show. I slaughter names, and I do my best sometimes. But I don't guess you've ever had to say Bassett City before, have you?
No, whenever I was in Miss Williams, Mississippi geography class, I don't recall having to go over Bassett.
Well, they had as a kid, they used to have a one-lane bridge. I'll tell you about that sometime. Looked scary as a kid. I remember that. You drive a car up on it, it creaked, and I thought, Lord, let me get home. Kind of like that bridge that y'all used to have over Gainesville, Alabama. Mm-hmm. That was one spooky bridge.
Speaking of bridges, I want to point out, this was posted a little while ago on our page.
Uh-huh.
Let me scroll down to find it. Let's see, tree down on Briarwood Road Bridge past Randy's. And we have a visualization of that on our main page if you guys want to check that out.
Okay, we had somebody else just give us an update right there. Do you see that?
Tree falling on home on 50th Avenue?
Yes.
So plenty of trees are going out tonight, which makes sense. We're having 65-mile-an-hour winds that are rushing through here. So.
And as I pointed out, and you weren't up here when all that went down, when we had this wind up here in Kemper County, it never, in all of my years of dealing with this radar, have I had one that showed that we had shear winds of 115 miles an hour, and we had that. We've got 500 to 600 people without power here, and let me just grab this. Let's see what we've got going on here. We're up to nearly 2,900. Let me update this to make sure that we're got the right here. Oh, look at this. We're over 4,000 now. That is a lot of people without power. Kemper County has stayed the same. We got another batch of, this is up to 2,300 here in eastern Lauderdale County in this area. But we've got another 1,000 people now right in here. Let's go out here. This is going to be out by the airport, Arundel Road. Right there is where that power's out. This is the split 2059 coming in Meridian, where all the wrecks always happen right there. Just west of there on Arundel Road, we've got power out. This is going to be out by the prison is where this is. Dirt Pit Road. Y'all are without power. 1,000 people without power right along in there. And let's be honest about this. It is not easy, and so we've got roughly 4,000 people without power right now. It is not easy at all to sleep without power and it being hot. It's really miserable, isn't it?
Mm. I lived a summer without any AC in Maryland, and I vow to never do it again if I can help it.
All right, let's look at what we've got here at Clark County as we look at this. Now, again, we've got roughly 40 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning. It doesn't mean I think they're going to hang on to this. I don't think that they're going to drop the warning. I think they're going to ride this out tonight. Mm-hmm. As we look at this, let's look at Quitman here. We got a storm that is approaching Quitman. And again, I'm back and forth on checking different things. Is why you'll hear pauses. But we've got a storm that is really close to Quitman that is going to be there at Quitman in 20 minutes. So if you're downtown Quitman watching us in those areas there, y'all be ready. You got a little storm that's going to come in. Let's zoom in on this so you can see a better look. Let's turn on your locations. Clark County is what we're looking at. As this will cross, this is going to be just due east right here where Clarko State Park is. This is going to cross Highway 45. And this is about where, if you'll remember, just a week or so ago, where the body was found right here just north of Quitman. Right. The man that was in the ditch is going to cross right across there and then miss downtown and come across Highway 512. The center of the storm. Now, what I mean is you'll see this gray area here. This whole swath, if I'm saying that word right, is going to be covered with rain as it comes out, as it fans and comes in. But the center of the storm crosses right there. Doesn't mean it's not going to rain over here at Archusa and out by the high school, because it's coming. And as we look at those locations, that's what we've got planned on that. A second storm that we're watching here in Clark County. Where did that go? It must have lightened up a little bit. There it is. This is going to be heading due south, and this will be headed toward the Shady Grove area. Right now, sitting on top of Highway 18 is where that is sitting. Expect that to be at Shiloh in 20 minutes, Thiedville by 10:48, and then reaching Crandall by 10:49. Well, let's go ahead and just call it 11 o'clock. That's close enough, isn't it, Dylan?
I agree.
Debbie tells us power out on Valley Road. Be careful out there, Debbie, sitting in the dark like that.
Yeah, Valley Road, Shoemate Road, and somebody commented that there's power out near Jay's Muffler as well. So.
Lacey said she loves me. Thank you, Lacey.
Yeah,
I appreciate
there's been
that.
a lot of people commenting. Thank you for, being on right now. And we understand that we're trying our best to, report what's going on out there right now. So
Tracy tells us we're still getting wind there in the Clarkdale community. Really bad, as she puts it there. Mm-hmm. Let's do this as we look at this. Let's look at our wind that we've got going on right now.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go down here to severe and turn back on this wind.
Edwina Coleman is asking if there are any tornadoes reported, and I do not believe that there has been any report of any tornadoes at this point. It's strong winds, but I don't think the conditions are right for that.
Yeah, and thank heavens we didn't get
Right.
that.
Exactly.
As we look at this, we're still showing winds as it's come across here. As you can see, it's lightened up in Kemper. We still have some west of Newton there, some heavier wind, and then the further south of Hickory you get. And that southern portion of Lauderdale County, as they're talking about there in the Clarkdale community, as you'll see right there, that's what we're getting in Clark County right now, is this wind as it swishes back and forth, and the more it does that, the more people lose power. 4,000 at this point without power, which tells us our boys from EMEPA, Mississippi Power, are going to have a long night. Think about them. They have to jump up and run out and leave their families, as well as our volunteer fire departments. I'm sure, as I haven't been in communication since we've been live with our different volunteer fire departments that I work with on a daily basis, I can guarantee you they're out. They're working hard. Let me see here. I'm making sure what I got in from Clark County. See if there's anything new here. It was an alert just saying that 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible at 10 o'clock, and that was just a few moments ago. 20 minutes ago is actually when this was sent. I just noticed it. It was radar indicated. Expect damage to roofs and wind as this comes across. It's saying equipment in Crandall around 10:25. So this is coming up on that. As you see that right there is this wind moving in. And that's what that's saying, is this wind comes across the county. Now, we've got 36 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning of what we've got right here. Amanda made a good point there, Dylan.
Oh, of course. Yeah, there are people out there who are doing their best to make sure that everybody gets the power back as soon as possible. So, I mean, we cannot thank all the work that's being done.
Yeah, those linemen, I'm telling you, that is some serious work there.
If a drop of a hat, having to get up and make sure that people's lives can get back to a safe and stable condition, especially in the heat that we've been having, especially with these winds and the rain and lightning. It's hard work, it's frightening work, and we absolutely appreciate
And
what
you have
you're
to
doing.
put yourself, and I say these things, and I want everybody to understand. You have to put yourself in. So many different people have different situations in their life. There's people that have to have power to survive. Especially elderly, and not everybody can afford a generator to do a backup. And you have to really think about them. Check on folks in your community that are near you. Make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest driving too far out.
No.
Unless there's somebody in particular that you're, of course, very worried about. And
Correct there.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's turn off this the wind now and go back to looking at what we've got going on around this. Again, this storm here, let's do a hard reboot here to make sure we got the absolute latest and greatest that we have on radar that can be given out. Again, this one storm in Clark County, now it's still rain. After this passes, this swath from Quitman right up through here is the worst that we've got, just northwest of 18, this area. This is sitting right here. Going to reach Quitman within 19 minutes from now. Let's turn this on here where we can look at this. This is where you'll find right there is where you'll find Clarko State Park. This is south of Clarko. This is going to just barely miss where Cooper's Chapel is as this comes across here and takes in Archusa and all these areas. And this is not moving fast. We still look at the lightning, Dylan, that is going on here in central Clark County.
That's incredible.
10:20. That was 6 minutes ago. We just hop around and look at these different places. That was at 10:24. 10:20. Let's get down here south. 10:27. This is the front edge of this. 10:26. That was 1 minute ago. This is Archusa here. Let's just give you a view of what's happening here as you look at Quitman, Mississippi. This is 511 out of Quitman here. This is Archusa. And before you reach to where Cooper's Chapel is, just south of there, here's 511. I want to say do you pronounce that Pagaski? Am I saying that right? I don't remember seeing that.
Pisgah Cemetery, I'd say.
Pisgah Cemetery. And for those of you that know me, years ago, my father was the pastor at Mars there at the church here at Cooper's Chapel. He was there and then went from, I said Mars, he left from there and went to Mars up in Philadelphia area. He was a pastor at that church. So I know the areas pretty well. There's radar updates. Boy, look at the rain coming down now. Downtown area. And it's not lightened up. This is that worst of the worst that we've got right now left remaining in Clark County. We're going to call this. Now, you've got showers over here by Long's Fish Camp around Enterprise, and it's pouring. But Quitman, y'all get the award for the most rain right now. Lightning popping right there at Clarko State Park. Now, you got showers easing up on Pleasant Hill Baptist in those areas there. Downtown, we've had some lightning strikes right there close to the school. 1029. That just struck. Hit pretty hard. Now, I can't tell. There may be. Let me check something here. I'm trying to decide if I hear another alarm in the background or not. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me ask you, do you want to... You've been going here live for about 2 or 3 hours. Do you need to step up and get some water real quick?
I will in just a minute. If you want to take over, you're more than welcome to. We do have a new warning that just got issued. This is going to be for Leake, Newton, Scott, and Smith counties. This is all going to be west of the Meridian area. Another round that is out west of here, Newton. Mm-hmm. Let's go back over to the map now and pull this up and see what we got. I thought that I heard the alarm hit as we pull this out. And let's turn this off where you can see. Right over here in this northwest corner is where we've got this. If you're west of downtown Newton, you're included in this. This is going to be the forest area here. All right, y'all keep that in mind, and this again is going to go, and let me turn this on to where we can find out. This is until 11:15 for this area here. So it gives it 15 minutes longer on Newton County as it makes its way out of here. Now, if you'll look back up here, Union, y'all are fine. Pearl River, Philadelphia, y'all are fine. And all of this area here, this is coming out of the Walnut Grove area, coming down from Carthage, making its way across here, barely catching these areas here. Lawrence, Bethel, and Pilgrim Grove, you'll get this in about 20 minutes from now. As we look at this again, southern Lauderdale County out of a warned area. That is fantastic news. We couldn't, and then we get down here south here, and this is a part of this 11 o'clock warning here as we get into Jasper and to Clark counties. We're still, the more that you zoom in, the more that you're going to see that you're getting lightning strikes left and right. Gilbertown, Alabama. Let's talk about y'all. Y'all hadn't got the storm yet, but as we look at this, it's fast approaching Gilbertown. On the outskirts of town, you're already getting it. It's upon you. Toxie, wet, 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 all the way up to Butler, Lisbon, Alabama. Pennington still getting pounded. The good news is York. Look at this. Isn't that better? Y'all are finally seeing a break there. And north of the downtown area in Lauderdale County, finally better. Now, we got a question there about Mayat Road. Looking good. Light stuff up here in Clark, north, we'll call it the West Lauderdale area. Blinking lights we're hearing there in Stonewall in heavy rain. Bless you there.
Sorry about that. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's fine. We all get a sneeze here then now and then. Let's see. Sunrise calming down bad enough for a rough 45 minutes. Highway 16 there. Thomas says it, so it's getting a little bit better there. No power in Bethsaida. Weather was rough at Dalewood. Power's been off for a while now. Entire area, no power. 4,000 people without power is what we've got right now. Now, this is, again, want to remind you that we're going to have several bouts with rain tonight as this comes about. And I brought up our guys. This is going to make its way down further south, and then we'll drift all this rain shower that we got coming out of Knoxville County. And it will be roughly 2 a.m. or later before all of this kind of clears out. Michael wants to know what the pink areas represent. That is hail is what that represents. All of this pink area here is where hail has been hitting the ground. And I'm glad you asked that. Sometimes I'll leave things on, forget to tell everybody. But pink means that it is hail. Dark green is the wind when we turn that function on. But the light green is rain. And then the darker the color that you see with the red and the orange and the yellow is how bad it's raining. And if you ever see on the radar where you see an area that turns black, that is like the ultimate scale of it just doesn't get any worse than that. If that makes sense. You can turn these legends on and it shows you here as it comes across here. If you'll see right there, your scale here gets black right there, and then your hail path is over there. But that's the way things are judged. Gets sticky for us there. But Meridian looking better. Again, we still got Clark County that is getting a good round of things. We have roughly 25 minutes now remaining on the severe thunderstorm warning that is in Clark County. We do have a Newton County just barely over here on the western side of a severe thunderstorm warning that is going on there tonight. Again, have we gotten any chunky area, what you want to know about that? We do have some light showers. It's not under a warning of any type in the chunky area, just rain at this point. You will continue to get rain off and on for quite some time. I was looking back over our comments to see if we'd missed anything that anybody else had sent in. Have we gotten any new things emailed in or inbox to us, Dylan?
I did want to point out that a lot of people have been chiming in. A lot of people have been sending us stuff. We have uploaded, if my count is right, 21 videos that people have all shared and 3 sets of images.
That's a bunch.
Yeah. So we really appreciate your interactivity and, again, wanting to share what's going on with the community. On that front, they serve as good visualizations, but I don't think that there's anything urgent necessarily, like somebody sharing a tree being down or some type of imminent danger for anybody on travel.
Right, and
yeah.
Dylan, you might want to type this out and put it in the message. I just got a note. Sydney just sent me this. It said a tree is down on the right lane going south on Old 45 as you go up toward the Evangel Temple. This would put it up past where the White Castle used to be, where you climb the hill, Tower Hill up there near the Evangel Temple. So we got a tree down in the right lane going south toward Quitman out of Meridian. All right, we get another note there. Big tree down on 492 between House and Union. Let me check some other messages here. Let's see here. I got another 45 South Evangel Temple. limbs down, and there was a tree down coming up the hill. Somebody else sent me the same message there.
All right, so let me just make sure I'm getting the wording right. Tree in the right lane, going south towards Quitman while exiting Meridian.
Near the Evangel Temple.
Near the Evangel.
So those areas. Let me double check here and see what else we've got message-wise. I just got hail is approaching Pachuta Post Office. So if you're in the area of Pachuta, you're going to have some hail there. Now, I just had a question here. Let's see, Lauderdale. Is Lauderdale in the clear? As we're looking here, here's Lauderdale right here. You have another round of rain that will come. Hopefully this will not be as severe as what we've had. I don't think it will be, but for the time being, there's a break in the weather. Is it going to rain again before the evening is over? Yes. The last I looked at that, it was going to be right around 2 a.m. before it was all out of the area and gone for good. We just have these different pop-up storms that are up here. Now, as you can look here and see here, let's look at the big picture again, as we done earlier.
Yes.
Here is the big line that is pushing through the area right now, almost out of Lauderdale County, making its way through central Clark County right now in Jasper County, and it will push on down further south as it goes. All this pink area, Hattiesburg will get this eventually. Turn this down just a little bit.
There is a report that another tree is down at the intersection of 56th Avenue and Cooper Circle. That's near Waters International, if you're not aware of that area.
Yeah, that's coming right off the interstate there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But again, with that being said, the worst of the weather is pushing through now. If you'll look back up here, we do have some areas of more showers that are coming down from Stark or West Point that will make its way through Meridian and will most likely be, and this includes Newton as well, these areas there. It will be well after midnight before everything is over. But the worst of the worst is passing right now. Now, we have really, you can include more counties, but we got Clark, we have Jasper County, we have Newton County, and Scott County, and just a little bit here. They just barely grab Smith County over here. And Leake County in this severe thunderstorm warning. This one is going to last until 11:15. We've got roughly 20 minutes, and what we're going to do is most likely hang on to this broadcast until 11 o'clock here, and we'll ride out this with Clark County, and then this will fade away. We're watching it closely, and should that come back, we'll come back on and go live to carry it through no matter when it is. This is what let's zoom in closer. Hey, Jan, how are you doing? Girl, you are up late for Jan. Let's see. Electrical storm now at Enterprise. And Dylan, was it popping like that? Was the sky lightening up when you came across?
When I came across, like I said, it was, lightning never touched the ground, but the lightning, within the clouds, it was probably 5 or 6 movements per second.
Well,
it was ridiculous. But I mean, that just goes to show the amount of energy that we have in this storm that's moving over.
Let's look at this again here. We hadn't looked at this in the last few moments, as we're still at roughly 4,078 people without power. And this gives you a bird's eye view of what's going on here. 32 people down around Shibuya, 43 at Quitman, 5 just north there around the Stonewall area. So we'll do that. 1,000 in the western side of Lauderdale County. That's going to be out there near Meehan in those areas. We've got 300 on the east side out by Wynot. We got 2,500 people roughly, that Toomsuba area. And then as you get into Kemper County, we're starting to see that getting a break there. Well, that jumped on in there for some reason really quick. Mm-hmm. But as you get back up here, this number in Kemper County at one point was 500. We're down to, I think it had it at 300. It jumped in there real quick. So we got 330, 340. That number has dramatically dropped for Kemper County. So they're working hard behind the scenes there at EMEPA to get these areas back on. And that's a lot of work. And as we look at radar, they can disperse and get out there now. As we come over here, Bailey area, got about 10 people without power. Let's zoom in on this area here. Lazelia Road, we got roughly 123 people without power there. And you look at this is going to be off of 39. As you drop below Meridian there, these are the numbers. That Tumsuba area is one of the hardest hit areas as we saw all that moving. And Eastern Lauderdale County really got banged on bad, without a doubt. Jan says she's got to go to bed.
Makes sense. Like you said, it is approaching 11 p.m.
It is. We're real close to that. 279, the energy area got power outages. And east of Quitman there, as you'll see, is sporadic. 11, 10, it just kind of jumps around 26 down here around Matherville and those areas there northeast of Shibuda. All right, let's go back up and grab our area. And this does look better. Let's go in here and turn off this. That takes away the hail there where you can see the intensity, but we still have a lot of rain. There's no hiding how much rain is coming down with this. The Walnut Grove area getting it beat pretty bad there, and this again does clip this Newton County area. Let's look at these areas here where these storms are headed for. Norris, you will get that storm within 25 minutes as we come across and we look at the second one into Jasper County. Baxter will have this storm right at 11 o'clock. Montrose, this is to the northeast of there. This comes across. What it's doing is going across a rural route area to where it doesn't necessarily pick up a community. There's still folks that live in these areas, but not picking up the smaller towns. That's going to pass 503, 18, those areas there. As we look at that, and then eventually that will make its way into Clark County. And this, again, has 16 minutes remaining on this warning. We're close to the end of that storm and it finally coming to an end.
Now, we had a question in chat about electrical storm safety. There have been a couple of people joking back and forth about that. But I think the common sense is definitely the best approach here. If you can, stay inside, of course, because lightning is coming down from the sky, and the more things that you can do to separate you between that lightning bolt, the better. Try to avoid anything that conducts electricity. That would mean try not to take a shower if you can help it. Any metal surfaces in your house or your apartment, try to avoid that. And things of that nature. Of course.
Yeah. As Jan put up a note there, said she was glad she had Reed Tree Service come out. And they're one of the folks that help us with this. If you've got trees overhanging your house, Mike Reed will certainly help you there, take you out of there. Dogwood Hills, North Meridian, no power, Mary tells us there. Ms. Gradeau. Rob West says they're dying out now. Lightning also coming up from the ground. Jeremiah Johnson. Hey, Jeremiah, you have to tell me more about that sometime. Lightning can also come up from the ground. Wasn't aware of that one. Let's see as we glance down through here. Looks like power slowly coming back up in eastern Kemper County. It is. We've gotten a few more people with it as we looked at that. 200 people have gotten their power turned back on in Kemper. Millery, Alabama, we're seeing that y'all have got some showers there. Also Coffeyville, some heavier storms. Gilbertown is pouring on y'all right now. The worst of what we've got here, and again, this is taking a whole dramatic looking look here as we come across here in Clark County. This is not near the storm that it was just a little bit ago. This will expire in this 14 minutes from now and just make its way on out. The major threat has gone away, which is great. The worst of what we've got right now that has a warning issued with it is going to be over here near Forest, Scott County. If you've ever visited there. They got a Walmart there, and of course that Wendy's there that a lot of people stop at on their way to Jackson, right there. As we go northward, Kemper County, as I mentioned before, showers still all around. DeKalb, you're going to get another round. Scuba, you're going to get some more showers there. It's not over. Philadelphia, you'll get some of these rain showers that are coming down from Louisville. It's Mother Nature. I can't guarantee you that another warning won't fire off. You never can tell. Stark Vegas, we got a little storm there that's cutting across, and will make its way to Northwood within 3 minutes. All these areas there, those subdivisions and things around Starkville, expect that. Sturgis, you've got a little bit of a shower there. Meridian, look at that. Doesn't it look better? Tons better.
Yes.
Let's see what the old radar wanted to text me. It's saying lightning has been detected within 50 miles of the University of Southern Mississippi. Lightning within 12 miles of Wayne Academy. MSU has got some a dangerous storm approaching. What we were looking at just then is the latest that radar has texted me in the last few minutes of what's going on with that. I am not aware of. I think the rotation with this has gone down. The chances of that. Again, we've had just some wind damage with this. I don't think it will jump up there. It is starting to slow down.
Got a report saying that there's a tree down across 492 between House and Union and Neshoba.
Yes, it was just wind, TJ, as he's tuning in. It was just wind that came through the county there that knocked all this out. It was not a tornado. Now, has things before been rated differently? We didn't get the amount of damage reports. Kemper County, by far, I think, has had the most damage of anybody. We did see that the substations got hit over here in eastern Lauderdale County, but it was winds. Again, the worst what we got right up through here. That's where we had those big-time winds clocking in, knocked that out. All right, as we look at this, we have roughly 12 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning. 10:39, we had a lightning strike there in Lauderdale County about 10 minutes ago. Let's go back in here. 10 minutes ago, a lightning strike there, and 10:49, that was just a minute ago. 1 minute ago, we had a strike there just east of Quitman off of Highway 45. But as we look at this, we're not showing the storm tracks with this now. That's the good news. The storm tracks have kind of faded away. So our biggest threat has gone away for the night, which we are tickled. We've got 10 minutes remaining on this thunderstorm. Dylan, do you want to stay on and ride this out for this next 10 minutes, or do you want to go ahead and call this at this point?
No, we'll be here.
All right,
We're here to the end.
All right, we'll ride this out. We got 10 minutes remaining on this. We're really close to this fading away off into the sunset, and that's what we hope it does. Let's see here. No more new messages. Let me check, see what we've got power outages of what we've been notified on. Mm-hmm. Let me update here. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to check. I hadn't checked in. We're starting to see the numbers in Lauderdale County. We're down to under 4,000 now. Now, let me go here. I don't see as good as I'm supposed to the later it gets. Let's pull this up and look at this. This is going to be Newton County. And let me pull up Mississippi Power, and then we'll pull up Central Electric, everybody that's around us, so that we'll have all of this to go over everybody's power outages of what we have. As we look at this, the Philadelphia area, how many folks we got up here? We got a lot of folks. Let's show you what's going on here. And that's what I needed to hit here. This is going to be Neshoba County. Look at this power. We got 4,000 people without power in that area as well. It's going to be Southern Pine is what this is where we're looking at this. Central Electric is what we've got here. Right around Pearl River, look at that. 1,100 people there without power. All of these areas. That's major. It's a heap of folks without power. All right, let's look here, and let's go over and look at Mississippi Power. They've got 2,200 people without power, and that's scattered about Lauderdale County, Tumsuba, those areas there. And then let's go here. We've already looked there. And this is where we go into Newton County here. Not near as many. Around Forest, 55 people without power. Union, we got 10 people without power. And then we've got about 17 just due south of here. Just south of 80 there. Right along in that Jasper County line, right there. Some good news on that, showing that this is not as bad. But Neshoba County, Kemper County, and Lauderdale County by far took a huge hit when it came to the lightning there.
Destiny says there's still no power in Lauderdale, but Mary has commented saying that Dogwood Hills has just come on. So
that's good news.
Dogwood Hill lights just cut on, thank goodness. All right, so good. That's more than one confirmation. That's great to hear from everybody.
All right, let's see here. Severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled for Attala, Carroll, Choctaw, Clay, Kemper, Leake, Lowndes, Madison, Montgomery, Neshoba, Knoxville, and Winston counties. That's the thunderstorm watch over. Also, the severe thunderstorm watch continues until 11 o'clock for Clark and Covington and Forest, the southern counties. That's going to continue until 11 o'clock. The thunderstorm watch for Lauderdale County has been canceled. For Newton as well, Rankin and Scott County. That's over. That's good news. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning for Newton. All right, that is starting to show a little bit of sign. And let's go back over to, I think I covered all of those. Let's look back at radar. Now we are showing some.
Let's look back at the radar, see the general scope. Who is up next to having a bit of a scare?
Let's go right over.
Meridian, we know.
We're going to go right over here as this starts moving into Jasper County. Right here, coming out of Scott County is what we're looking at. Right there is what we want to pay attention to. We got some critical winds occurring there, 58-mile-an-hour shear winds, and we got two different cells. Now, as you'll see this, they're kind of intertwined there. Both of these are about a mile in compass, a mile wide with these winds. And this is right at the line there, as it will clip Smith County and then move right on into Jasper County. As we'll look at this, let's see if we can get a road here, Dylan, of where this is. Right now, this is over some pine trees is where this is. This is not near any roads just yet. This is County Road 506 in Smith County that would eventually cross here. But it's just right there at the corner. Again, by its lonesome out there, but that can affect power lines in those areas there. That's the biggest scare that we've got going on in these areas here. Now, as you'll see here, Decatur looks great. Union looks great. Nothing going on there. And so all of this western side of Scott County there, and as we saw, some power outages has happened there in the last little bit as well as we track across there.
Remind us again, the pink and purple is indicating hail, and the blue is indicating rain, right? So the blue that we see outlining the hail there is the gradient as we go from these hot hail spots to rain again. Is that right? That's
about right, yes.
I see, okay.
All right, Gilberttown starting to see a little bit of a break there. This stretch from Quitman all the way south to Shibuda there on 45, still heavy rain. It's going to be that way. Y'all be careful in that area if you have to travel from there. Again, we just want you to be weather cautious as we go on into the next 3 to 4 hours. There's going to be periods of different rain. Should we get more warnings, we'll be back to let you know about that throughout the night. It doesn't matter who, what, or when. We'll make sure that that's posted so that you know about it. Again, that's just watching these shear winds here in the corner. Coming up on Smith County. If you're over to our west, Smith County, you need to pay attention to your weather in that area there. That come out of nowhere. Again, roughly 3 minutes that we're watching this remaining on that. Livingston, Alabama, starting to show a little bit of a break as it's got light rain. Now, we got heavy rain again around DeKalb. That stretch all the way back here, 16, between 493, 495. It's raining pretty heavy. And again, this is what's coming from Louisville. Y'all see all this from Starkville. All this is moving south. Mm-hmm. And this is why I say this is not going to end in the next 30 to 40 minutes. It's just not going away. It's going to be continued rain until well after 2 o'clock, most likely in the morning. It'll be give and take, but it'll be there. I was checking my phone again as I got another message there. Let me make sure nothing has changed on that.
And we're about a minute from the top of the hour, and that's whenever the warning expires. Is that correct?
Yes, it will be expiring for Clark and also Jasper County. Now, I can see Jasper County at some point possibly getting another warning there with what's going over here in this corner that popped up in the last little bit there. As we look here at Smith County, it's got some sheer winds going on over here on this west side here. Montrose there in Jasper County. We'll see what becomes of that. But some sheer winds in those areas there in the west part of the county there. We're 2 minutes away from getting an expiration on this big one here. Again, I can see them stretching that. Let me go back and see if the National Weather Service has sent us a message of anything that is going on in the last few moments. They hadn't updated anything yet as we look at that. All righty. Let's go back here.
Nature says that storm's picking back up in House,
Mississippi.
There was a question about power outages for EMEPA in Clarkdale.
Let's pull this up. This is EMEPA. Again, we're below 4,000. Let's go to the Clarkdale area. Here's 0 as we start moving into the Clarkdale area. As you'll see, Enterprise and all of this area here is right around the Clarkdale area. It's anywhere south here. All this red area here is without power. T.M. Jones Road, y'all know where that is, up here where the ball field is, that area there without power. Walker Road, we've got without power. Those areas there. So it's going to be a while. They have a lot of people that work, but as you see there, that's 2,200 people here, and it's just going to take some time for all this power to get back on. We still have a little under 300 now in Kemper County. That is good. Shibuda, you got about 63 people without power in that area there. So that it's a long night ahead for our guys that are working to restore all this power there. Let's do an update and see what the National Weather Service has for us here. And again, this has broken. That is good. As we look at this, Smith County, these areas right in here, we'll want to watch that. Clark County, you no longer have a severe thunderstorm warning. Jasper County, for the moment, does not have one. I would not be shocked if we get another one right here in the next few minutes. So we'll post that if we do. Again, some sheer winds occurring there in that northwest corner there of Jasper County. We'll continue to watch it. We, again, will have showers this drifting on up toward probably 2 o'clock. No power in Savannah Cove by the old outpost, Highway 45. Yep, all of those areas there. So we want to thank you. And again, we'll be back should this threat pick back up. Anything that happens, we'll let you know about. Again, thank y'all for being a part of this and sharing this with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a long night.
It has.
We've been here for a little over 3 hours at this point. We appreciate everybody sticking in. Viewership has fluctuated as the storm has gotten worse, and we see that people are starting to trail out, which that's a good thing. It means that people are okay enough to go to sleep for the most part. So
yeah, and that's what they're doing there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to call it for the moment. Again, we really appreciate everybody coming out here, and we'll do our best to keep you guys informed as this goes on and in the future.
All right. Again, we'll pass along any information that comes to us. God bless you, and we'll be back bright and early at 6:30 a.m. with our first broadcast, and then we'll come back again at 8 for the morning show. All coming up. We do appreciate y'all so much, and we'll continue coverage as needed.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: